Hello.
Hey, party
Howdy.
people.
Hey, hey, hey.
Howdy, gamers.
Hello. Good morning, afternoon, evening. It is
Good time
us.
zone.
Good time zone.
Hello, everyone. We are the Strings of Fate.
It's us.
Can
you
sorry.
hear us?
Sorry. I was looking at the stream. I was like, we're not on it. And I was like, oh, there's a lag.
There certainly is.
Oh, no, there's a lag.
Hey, guys. We're the Strings of Fate. I'm Michaela. Oh, we're a D&D podcast. You know when I said I was going to wing this intro, guys? What do you want me to say?
You want me to take over?
So good. You're doing so great.
Today's our birthday.
It is.
A collective birthday.
Can you guys see us just fine? I'm so sorry about the technical issues we will undoubtedly have in this stream. It does look like we're frozen for some reason, and I don't know why.
No, it looks,
I
looks
think
like
it
we're
may
good.
have just
We're
gone
good.
back.
Okay.
We just got back.
Perfect.
Hey,
So-
welcome everyone.
Listen, a little Frozen, nothing. I love that movie.
That's how it goes. That's to say.
So yeah, welcome to our stream, our anniversary stream. Today we're going to be rewatching the first episode, which I think that most of us haven't watched at least in a long time.
It's certainly been a while.
Has anyone not listened to the first episode since it came out? Has everyone re-listened to it at least
Unless
once?
we did it on
I
a
listened to it
specific
once.
occasion, if we were going back, with us maybe, but not on my own.
I think I've re-listened to it before.
I re-listened to it. I think we did a live watch in the Discord once, and I listened to it then. I try to avoid anything
remember that.
before episode 12 though, because the audio makes me want to cry a little bit. And speaking
Fair and valid.
Speaking of.
speaking of audio, so we this year of SOFPOD has been about growth, and it's been about overcoming and learning. And one thing I certainly learned how to do was edit audio, and one thing I certainly did not know how to do in this first episode was edit audio. So the first episode is a little quiet, so because of that, this whole stream is probably going to be a little bit more on the quiet side. We'll try not to jump scare you, but the first episode is it's a little quiet. You might have to turn it up a little bit. Fair warning.
Yes, we should mention that this is the stream we are doing with commentary. So if you've never watched the first episode and you think you're coming in here to experience it pure without us making fun of ourselves for an hour and a half, that is not what the stream is. But you can enjoy it anyways. We are going to be commenting on it, interjecting, talking about things and where the story is. In some places, we'll try to keep it as spoiler warning as possible, but mostly just commenting on the first episode.
Yeah. I have all of the things at my disposal, all the stream things, so I am in charge of audio. So if the audio at any point, someone's too quiet, someone's too loud, yell at me in the chat. Say, Chris, hello! And I'll try to adjust it as we go. I barely know how to stream, but I'm happy to be here.
Yes,
We barely know how to
Introduce
put up a
ourselves?
podcast.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Yes.
Yeah, we didn't introduce ourselves, folks.
Oh my god, no way. Wait, who should start? Where should we start?
Chris,
who
go
wants to
first. You're the first in the
Oh my god,
overlay.
hey, my name's Chris. If you can see, we've got our little names up here. I use they, them pronouns. Here is my balloon that I got for myself. If you can't see, it says happy anniversary. And it's shaped like a heart. I play Vincent on the show, who is, if you don't know, a tiefling bard who uses he, him pronouns, and he's green, and I love him.
Amazing.
Christian, you next.
Hello, my name is Christian. I am the Dungeon Master for the Strings of Fate, and I'm repping 2 birthdays because I have SOFPOD's birthday, but I'm also celebrating Randy's 60th. Well, actually, at this point, it'd be 63.
Oh my
Randy's
god.
60th birthday. Before we started the podcast, I went to a Goodwill and I bought this shirt that says Randy's 60th birthday, but the font there makes it look like it says Randy's goth birthday.
Randy's got B-Day.
So weird. And believe it or not, Randy's goth B-Day is February 24th.
It's clandestine.
And we
I
didn't
wanna
realize
meet
that.
him.
We released the first episode on Randy's goth birthday. So,
Happy birthday, Randy.
Happy
Anyways.
birthday to Randy,
I
folks.
hope he's doing okay. I really do.
also, this is SOFPOD's first birthday, I guess, too. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Can it be
that's
our
me.
Goth B Day too?
It's our Goth B Day.
Mushi?
Sorry, I'm catching
My
up
name
on
is
chat.
Michelle.
Continue.
My name is Michelle. And I play Ladara, you know, the elf, that girl with the ears. Love her. Was I supposed to say anything else? I'm a Pisces.
You play
That's
Ladar.
good.
She's a rogue.
Just a fun fact.
She's
She's a
cool.
rogue. She's
She's sexy and
thanks.
cool.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, Christian, you DM for us. You play all of the characters.
Yes, I do. I did. Rest in peace. Goodbye, everyone. I do DM.
Does that mean SOFPOD is
mean-
also a Pisces?
Oh,
Yep.
that's what's so emotional.
That's
That explains so much.
that's I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'm leaning towards bad as a Pisces. Yes, Dea. Me and Christian's birthday is next week.
Yeah, everyone,
So many
stay
birthdays.
tuned next week. It's the birthday week. Hi everyone. My name is Michaela. I said that earlier. My name is Michaela. I play Azrim on the Strings of Fate. Azrim is a blue air genasi warlock, and throughout the course of the podcast, I have learned who his patron is, and I didn't know when we started.
Okay.
Or for like 2 years into play.
or his like
That's alright.
subclass or whatever. People would always ask me that. I'd be like, I don't know. That's Christian.
Well, there we go.
It's a big learning process.
And now we've been doing this for almost 50 episodes tomorrow.
Holy sh!
I thought you were gonna say
Nike.
50 years.
50 years.
50 years.
Randy's
You know?
4th birthday.
We all
Randy.
look great for our age. I will say.
Haven't aged today.
He's
So this stream, like we said, is gonna be like a commentary stream of our first ever episode, and we're probably gonna talk over it. Oops. But I think if you guys want, we can get started. Turn our little
Yeah.
camis off, and
Also, I believe Carissa already dropped it in the chat, but I'm sure that she can drop it again if we need her to. But there is a transcript for this episode if you would like to read along, especially because the audio is quiet and we're gonna be making some dumb commentary on top.
we're gonna rip ourselves to shreds.
Oh.
So, yes, there it is. Thank you so much, Carissa. So, without further ado, if you guys would just give us a brief moment to set up the episode, and we are gonna be right back. All right, give us like a minute. And we are
Hello,
back. Hello, we have it up.
Hello,
we have the
gamers.
episode up and ready to go. Hello.
We have all of the famous SOFPOD characters, including my Final Fantasy XIV Lalafell.
Thank God.
Onion has joined. Absolutely
Anyways.
incredible. The official Strings of Fate account.
Just letting them know what his name is.
His name, the strings of fate themselves.
He's in the strings of fate now.
Slat.
Jesus.
Anyways,
Quick question for everybody is who's listening, are our audio levels fine? Because I think I had an issue earlier where my mic was a little too quiet. Cool, sounds good. Yada yes.
says yes.
Then let us begin, shall we?
Shall we?
We're gonna rewind.
26 minutes in. Oh.
Oh.
And I am pretty sure that this is the wrong down here. Don't.
Yeah, I think
follow
it's-
that.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah, that is the wrong at.
It's okay.
I'm pretty sure it's the wrong for like the first 10 episodes or something.
It's alright. It's longer than that, I think. But that's okay.
It's super cool.
How would
It's
they
super
know?
fine. How would they
It
know?
is what it is.
It's
It is
fine.
what it is.
So without further ado, everyone, get your popcorn, turn down your lights, and let's dive in, shall we?
Let's get started.
Hello and welcome. My name is Christian, and I am the Dungeon Master for the Strings of Fate.
Okay, it's him.
Before we started, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting
You're so
us.
welcome,
Thank
Christian.
you for all the
No,
love
thank
you
you,
show us on
Christian.
Twitter and Instagram and the Discord. It is all so amazing and more than any of us expected. We are truly, truly grateful for the platform that you are giving us, and we believe that we've
Yeah.
created something really special here for you, and we really hope you enjoy it. Further on from that, if you want to know how you can get your name as an NPC on the show, then listen
This is
ahead, because
still-
there's going to be a break that I'm going to do right around the
True.
middle-ish. So keep an ear out. for
Right around.
Otherwise,
Right
there
around
are
the
no more
middle-ish.
announcements. I just wanted to say that because it's important that you know that none of this could have happened without any of you. Truly.
Still true.
Besides that,
Still
I
true.
think we're about ready to get started. So, without further ado, on with the show.
Woo.
Within the endless expanse that stretches farther than the mind can imagine, we find ourselves on the continent of Afra, a land divided amongst a tenuous alliance forged in the fires of a war fought and ended in a single battle against an unstoppable imperial force. Here in this land once touched by the primeval Vondric gods,
The music
we find an
playing
age of
in the
change
background of
I know,
actual.
through a speaker.
The year
In
is
the room.
550 Northfall, an age of
Was it
steel
550 Norse.
550?
Shit, I gotta write that down.
I wrote it down. You didn't write it down?
Shit.
At the center of these nations, the Onsirian monarchy stands strong, holding fast the traditions of old while the Church of the Morning Lord slowly emerges as a force of its own. To the northwest, we find the proud and passionate Boreali nation.
Boo the church.
The force they've called their home.
Ooh,
That's alright.
Catholic
The
analogy.
youngest. of arcane research, Starlight Sovereignty. There,
Will we ever go to the
Starlight
Starlight
scholars
Sovereignty?
advance
Oh wait,
the
no,
ages of
not that one. The
practical
Boreali.
You're definitely
Boreali is what I
from
meant.
magic of old.
So sorry.
Tirelessly map the shaky history
wanna
of
go.
this torn continent. In a peninsula nestled within the Sapphire Strait, we find the isolated primeval wilds, holding fast.
I'm so
to Vondric
nervous. Like,
traditions.
and I can hear it in his voice. It's like so nervous.
Aw.
We find their antithesis.
It's alright, I was really nervous too.
The principalities of the immortal Prince
I was
Baron,
like, I don't even know how to,
which thrive in
How to talk anymore.
literally.
I remember the first episode, I was just so nervous I was going to get to the end. And because remember my audio would just stop recording sometimes.
Oh yeah.
where one could travel and find a life for themselves.
We were really hanging on by a
outside the
thread.
jurisdiction of any
We
one
still
nation.
are.
That
It's
land
like a
is now
thicker
home to
thread
a
now,
number
though.
of those that sought to find their fortune in the resource-rich frontier, as well as those unsavory groups who thrive outside of the nations and their laws. Our story begins on the Golden Route, a well-traveled path that is said to take one through many of the major cities of the nations, ending within the affluent Varan principalities. Along that road, we find a number of settlements, some grandiose centers of trade and culture, while some are modest, meant to act as respite for weary travelers along their journey. We find ourselves in the latter case. A settlement 2 weeks down the Golden Road from Siniath,
Just
Well
hear the
into the Painted Valley, far from the
the
lodge.
banjo starts playing.
Plainstown is unassuming, but simple wooden
Honestly,
buildings
I remember playing
that
this and
have
being
seen
really
better
excited
days.
because we joked
The
about the
whistling
like
wind
Wild
blows
Wild
through
West
and picks
thing.
up the dust.
We
I
really,
went on.
yeah, for like a
On the main
while.
strip, we could see a number of horses hitched along posts outside of various establishments. A general store, a small town bank, a smith, and a building very recently burnt to the ground. Our focus is on the building which seems to have had the most traffic. A saloon at the center of town, 2 stories tall, with a faded sign and fresh bullet holes in the wood.
I can't believe we started in a cowboy arc.
Glass as the patrons were trapped under the
And
table.
here we are.
And outside,
And here we are after all
barrels
this
of their
time.
guns still smoking. We
In
can
a
see
scale
6
we are.
individuals all donning flat-brimmed hats, standing armed and ready.
When is Doug Digging Down? Doug
It's in
Dimmadome.
this.
Shouts the man at the center of this posse.
He's coming
That one
out.
was just some warning.
Dimmadome looking.
I'm gonna ask again nicely. Send out the Genasi boy.
Come on,
And I
Irish
won't send
accent.
my people here to shoot each and every last one of you. O'Donovan's
God.
got business with him.
I'm like out
You
of
don't
breath.
need to
I can remember being out of breath saying
Many
this.
of you have a semblance of self-preservation. Why not just give him up? As he says this,
Practice this
inside the
accent
bar,
for like an hour
we see a
before.
number of people filled in fear over what's about to take place as a tense silence lands over each patron. However,
That's right.
Oh my god, this is
Alan
literally
a-
all Auna's fault. That little
Yeah,
shit.
Alan-
Posse.
Oh my god.
Right, it is
The
Alan's
episode.
fault.
It's all Auna's fault. Are we
Foreshadowing.
Aona started all of this shit. I
That's
can't
right,
even
because you're-
believe it.
Yes, that's right. A little bit spoilers, but that's okay if you're here. Yeah, it's because you had a twin brother that came through town and wrecked Denton O'Donegan's. There's some of his underling shit.
Damn.
Maybe they deserved
It
it
was Elena's
because
fault. I mean, yeah,
'cause-
they did deserve it. Oh,
yeah,
I can-
because Auna's an angel.
I
I
wanna
can.
know.
Okay, so every time that Aona has like beaten up or like blown up a town or something like that because he's gone crazy with like fighting people off, it's always been like in self-defense or because somebody's been
Oh,
like,
that's good.
harassing it. Like that's the whole thing that happened here. Is he was being robbed. They tried.
He
to
wasn't like
rob him.
murderous.
No, yeah, he didn't like go in there and look for a fight. Like he was trying to get away from Cineath, and they tried to rob him, and he just like destroyed them basically. So that's what happened. That's
Damn.
that's the backstory about why this whole first part happens.
Wow.
There's a point pre-podcast where Aona did like a similar thing, right?
Yeah, there's a town called Red Larch in the Forgotten Realms, but like it didn't exist in our world. But he was traveling through there for reasons. He was traveling around that area, and he was being harassed at a bar by people that were like being kind of drunk and belligerent. And then they just kind of pushed him too far, and he just destroyed. He went wild. He like blew up the side of the bar with wind at that point.
Period. Material girl.
Material girl.
Anyways, you can all know that backstory.
How interesting. I can't believe
and
we get to know that now. And so does everybody here who's listening. Who?
Now you know.
Now you know.
I was just gonna say that I was really excited playing this episode. I remember feeling all giddy and being like, "This is fun and cool."
We're doing something special.
I remember when Christian was giving us a description, and I was like, oh my god, is this really happening?
Absolutely wild. I'm a press play again.
in a
Let's go.
table far in the corner that's been overturned to create makeshift cover, where they know there's an individual who just a little under an hour ago turned up in town with hair that floats as if the wind holds it. Azram, could you please describe your character?
Azim's about 5'10". He has crystal blue skin, hair right above his shoulders, flowing
Renair
outward.
is here.
He is a dark blue.
Christian told us to write a description, and I didn't. So,
So, all right, well,
Everyone
so
acts
that's why.
shocked.
So if you're like, why does Azram wearing cute little shoes? It's because my brain went out.
Why is it with cute little
I had
shoes
to
and little
make-
sandals?
I then had to make the cute little shoes, so Every time you say something about your character, I have to be the one who picks up the slack.
And his tools.
Oh my god.
He has a dagger
Time
tucked
perception
under the
is
right
weird.
side of his
Everyone's
waist.
like, "Oh my gosh, Renee's here," and I'm like,
And
"Whoa, he's always there."
his
I'm like, "Yes, it's
staff
been there."
across his back.
No spoilers.
He has his
Yeah.
hands come down about to like
Hee.
ankle length, and he's wearing cute little shoes.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Currently, Asram, in a moment of instinct and preservation, you have the table that you were sitting at enjoying your drinks is now flipped currently, providing you cover from the hail of bullets that had entered the saloon. And two of your companions split off earlier to accomplish a number of errands in town, leaving you and one other. A nervous man whose instincts have him taking what little cover he can besides this rum-soaked table, his horns
Listen to this
poking
characterization.
out from the top. Vincent, could you please describe your character?
Vincent.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous.
Expected.
He stands at roughly like 6 feet tall. His frame is thin and lanky, slightly
Oh, man.
broad
You know what he looks like. I don't have to go through all this.
Yo, he's right there. He's on the
He's
screen.
right here.
You can see them all.
He's got a tail with
Hearing me talk is kind of embarrassing.
very thin.
Gotta
We
be
have a
honest.
podcast, Chris.
I know, but it's like I've gotten so much better at talking, I think,
Permanently
over the
creased.
last...
Yeah, we all have
Last year.
kind
His
of.
lashes
proved
are
as
long, his
podcasters.
stubble is overgrown, and his nose is hooked.
Why am I still going?
It's because Christian told us to write a description, so we all had fucking paragraphs except me.
And he's wearing a red scarf around his waist.
He
And
is.
an expensive-looking brown coat.
It was expensive.
And on his neck, he wears a cravat that's
Rip.
tied up to his jaw, but underneath
Jesus
the cravat,
Christ.
there is a beautiful red ruby amulet. And
We're up
he
to all
is
of Vincent's
looking
jackets.
a little concerned.
Yeah.
Every last one of them. They'll never survive in our.
They never make it.
Burn them all to the ground.
Christian's like specifically trying
What are
to
you two
ruin
doing?
my outfits.
You'll announce an outfit and then I'll be like, "Ah, nice try."
Burnt.
Further in, you've just seen the bullets and you hear the shouting to bring out the Genasi boy.
Did
And
you
you're
see
not
any
entirely
other-
sure who they are.
Did you see any other Genasi coming in here? Was it just, are they talking about you?
You know, I have a feeling they're talking about
I
me.
think they're talking about you.
Eric's watching all this.
Would it?
Would it
I
be-
disguise myself as like a bear.
Hey, of all the disguises,
He's similar to my height, more so than Ladara.
they're just gonna try to shoot.
The
you.
only time I've cared about
Do I
rules
look like a
ever.
fucking Genasi? That's the thing, like, they're looking for a Genasi. I'm
Haha,
a
things
white
have
Genasi.
changed.
Literally.
They don't want Renair. They want you.
Well, they don't know I'm here.
Something.
Taking a
I'm so
peek
upset.
at the table as in your new form, you can see now a number of the patrons that had been in here earlier with you, kind of all talking to themselves.
Before
amongst each
Vincent's
other,
turtleneck was
and looking
Azarin.
in your direction. Not
Poor
seeing
Vincent's
the Genasi anymore.
whole wardrobe.
and are mostly confused now and kind of going over their options. As you are figuring this out, we step outside of the tavern.
Here they
and
come.
we see two individuals making their way back
Oh my
from
God.
the supply run that took a bit too long thanks to an overly talkative shopkeep and a man that doesn't
Excuse
really know
me.
how to end a conversation well. As he spouts apologies. How was I supposed to know that it would take so... That she just was very
My boy.
questioning of everything. Things happen. That's how it goes.
I love
Their
him.
leisurely walk down the main drag of town is interrupted by the explosive sound of gunshots, and they find themselves rushing quickly back to their companions, taking a more collected approach. We see a elven woman fall into her element. Ladara,
Ooh.
would you like to describe her character?
Ladara.
5'6", thick
Doesn't it kind of hit you
strong wood elf,
when you start
shoulder-length
talking?
hair
You can just
to the back,
remember
Yep.
exactly how you
little
felt in the
ponytail,
moment.
Mm-hmm.
Some braids on the
Reading a
side.
script.
She has a stern
The only time it's ever been
Reading our
scripted.
script that we have every week.
Yeah.
Scratches on the right side of her face.
Just some
3
scratches, you know.
exact. She's currently wearing
3.
Just
a
as-
softer,
just some
puffy
scratches.
black shirt,
3.
Another detail that I
vest,
have to
corset
remember in
on
the art.
black pants.
Count 'em, 1, 2,
around
3,
her
you know.
waist and thigh
1, 2,
is
3.
like a leather bag to hold her things like her daggers, small items, but she also has her dagger of venom strapped to
She has
her
so much.
belt.
That's a lot of daggers. A lot of knives. There's a gun somewhere there too.
Is an extra
Yeah.
dagger just for safekeeping.
It's a
Girl!
Attached to her back is her crossbow.
Just in
Finally,
case.
in a not
I
so
swear to God, like 10
fashion,
daggers.
a tall,
got a dagger up her
broad-shouldered
ass.
women man with wavy
Always, just in
hair
case.
back into a bun. He wears the adventuring clothes of the day, which involve a number of handy holsters atop a tucked-in but comfortable button shirt and leather boots. He seems about ready to charge directly into the danger when he sees his elven companion and realizes that perhaps a tactical approach would be better. Ladar, what are you doing?
Renaer.
Renaer immediately
Renaer, I love
readying
you.
himself to charge towards
Renaer.
the gunshots.
Stop. First of all, I knew that I couldn't trust
Charging
them
right
alone,
into
but I really
danger.
didn't think it was gonna be that bad.
As always.
Honestly,
What an idiot. Honestly,
you can't just go barging in.
Poor-
what is his intelligence stat? Because
a tie.
I don't believe it.
Further down this main road, you can see
They had like a D&D
what
Beyond
look to be
extension for
6
Twitch.
Figures, all
You
in
can
white
like
trench
show your
coats with
character stuff.
flat
But
rimmed hats
Oh,
that
damn.
are all in
Relevant.
front of the saloon, pointing guns forward, while one kind of watching. They haven't seen you two yet, as you've ducked around the corner.
For now, you don't know it yet.
Over, but you see
Funny.
the one in front sort of yells out and says, "We're getting a bit impatient out here, aren't we? No response. I mean, we're gonna have to come in and see what all the deliberations about. What did you say, boys?" As they're
Hullabaloo.
readying themselves, Vince and Azra, what are you doing?
what are we doing?
How many people are in this?
Looking sexy.
There's currently,
I really like this guy's voice, but he's
only
canonically the
got a
ugliest
good
person in our
number, I'd say.
podcast, other than that one.
including the bartender, 8 other people. Though you're not entirely
so
sure if that's
funny.
an accurate
They're
count,
all
it's just the
hot.
amount of people you've seen sitting in here today. There's like a second story to this saloon that is like an inn with rooms that go around the side, but so far all you know is about is the people that are on the main floor right now.
Do you just want to, do you want to fight them? Like they're. I don't think they're here for talk. I mean, I could try to I could give us some cover. We could run out with. I can maybe-
If you listen closely, you can hear the music skipping a beat.
I agree,
I'm
we need
just
to
so
get out.
wild.
Yeah, it's just like it's having a little problem.
A fan
All
called
done
the
on
Shadow
site
Killman,
at this
apparently.
point in
Can you
time.
make yourself look really cool?
Like cooler than I already
Never
am.
mind.
I already
You're
am.
just gonna go out disguised.
I mean, I
It's
can
like,
go
never
out-
mind.
Do we
Shouldn't
think
have
that it'd be
asked.
effective for me to go out disguised and
Also, isn't it? Side note, isn't
try
it cool to
say
see
that Genasi is not here, or do you think
like
he
the
might get
old
shot?
art versus the new art?
I think I might get
Great.
shot either way.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
so
that's
too.
true.
Which is the
Like
problem.
the old
What if I disguise
EMA.
myself as you?
Look at how we've improved.
I
Look at how
Yeah.
better my art is.
We'll see which one of us
This, we've
gets
all
shot.
grown.
You go out there disguised
That's
as
crazy.
me, and whenever they're about to take you, I'll come out there and kick their ass.
You hear a gunshot
We're like,
ring out in the
duck.
air.
Achoo.
You notice then that the gnomish bartender crawls underneath the little separating door there. He crawls over to your table. He says, "Listen, I know it was you. Look different now.
I know.
saw you.
I
I know it's you they're after.
No, it's you.
An extra exit.
It's just a little freak.
Leave us here."
No, we're planning something. What is there an exit?
Man is still never seen
Make a
again.
persuasion check.
8 plus 12.
You should make
This
it, you
one
know,
has 20.
You should make him what?
That's how
a cameo. Bring him back.
You should come back.
You
I'll write that down.
Oh, man. There's a back door. Yes, I can lead you to it, but I'm running. Oh, I'm running with y'all if you all go. I don't care.
Okay, all right.
What if
we
we
go
went
around
up-
back?
I go around back and then maybe get them from above
We
or
can-
from behind.
Yeah, or we could kind of out into the main area and
just
make it really
leave.
cool.
Oh my god.
I
I can look cool.
can you look? You do the wind thing, and then like we look really intimidating, and then I'll make some noise, and then maybe we can scare them off.
Look at that
Okay,
planning.
let's do it.
Plan.
All right, and then
He drops
Teamwork.
It's like Azra.
the gnomish bartender begins to crawl along the way. Keep your heads down, and leads you around the other side towards where a back door is. At the same time,
They're eating y'all up
Renaer
in
and
the
Ladar,
live
they're
chat.
both getting into position. Renaer's looking. He says,
It's fine. We're fine. It's
"They've
cool.
already been shot. What
We're
are we
really
going
good
to
at
do? I have to get in.
really good at
Calm
improvising,
down,
so it's
please.
fine.
Okay, let's think.
Calm down, please.
Oh, before their accent. Oh, Ladara's
No
an
Lydia
accent
accent.
now.
The American Ladara.
American Ladara.
It's not Ladara. It's
She was out
Ladara.
in the
Not
Wild
Ladara.
Wild West.
She's not
Find some
well.
way out.
She's
She's
lost herself.
well.
Thing,
I also love
we try
Renair
to get
very much.
higher.
I
Go
completely
about the
agree.
area, or I can
Sorry if that
try
sounded
Colonize
aggressive.
Ladara, not the colonizer.
No.
You get too close, and I shouldn't get too close.
I would argue that the English are the original
What
colonizers,
the hell
but
is happening right now?
we are also guilty of our own
Think
crimes.
From here, this building
Doing a
isn't
bunch.
tall. I can give you a boost up to the roof if you'd like.
Accents are cool.
Okay.
I
I'll
agree.
stay down here. I'll try and get to. A
Even
better
if
position
it's
to
not
find
an
you
accent
if
that's based
things
in
happen,
reality,
and
just
I'll
like do
look
it,
out
you know?
for
Just like make one up.
Um,
It's fantasy.
He holds out his hands. You leap up onto them. This isn't necessarily a roll because you're very good at this, but he pushes you up as you are able to hop up, grab onto this, and pull yourself up to the roof of this building, getting a good vantage point on the 6 gunslingers that are outside.
This is before we had the
saloon
conversation
at the
about
same
me
time as you
saying
prepare
people's names when I'm
Vincent
addressing
Azra.
them. There's a
No
lot of me
man.
going like, you!
Open, he
And
says,
no one knows who I'm talking
"In
about.
a few moments, they're gonna come through. And
The
they're
amount of
gonna
times we've been
realize
recording
that
and
they
Christian will be
are-
like, you,
I'm not dealing
you.
with the
And
Donegan
we're like,
gang
Christian,
right now."
who?
So,
Donegan gang?
yes,
They can't
ran
see
by
who you're
no
pointing
Donegan.
at.
Are you
They're-
real?
he's
You're
pointing
real
at the
Italian.
Do
What
I
am I
listener.
look like I'm from here?
saying? Okay.
You.
Do I
audience
look
member.
like I'm
Pulling you
from
into
here?
Afra.
Y'all figure it out. If those people die, that's not on me. And then he just starts bolting out the back, running, leaving
he's
like a little
done.
dust cloud behind
What's our shtick?
him.
What's our shtick? Are we? What?
How
do you
about
want?
I'll go out by
What-
myself.
what-
You will provide backup so that they don't try attacking both of us at the same time.
I
might be
can.
able to-
I can make like noises. Like, do we
Yeah.
want to chase them off?
Let's do some
Like, what kind of noises, Vincent? Like, elephant noises?
Like, what kind of noises?
Currently, it's
I
a
can
little
make
bit
some
overcast. It's
noises.
not fully sunny. A little bit cloudy. Yeah, it's a little bit cloudy. It doesn't look like it's gonna storm, but there's definitely not like it's a bright blue day. You know.
All right. You ready? Ready to scare the shit out of them?
So we're like in an alley.
You're kind of towards the back of the establishment. There's two
Remember when
alleys
they
that lead around
worked
to the
together
front,
and
but if
got
you wanted
along?
to go further down the road to come to
What are you
the front,
talking
like,
about?
further away from like, just coming out the side of the
Yeah.
building, you can definitely do that to get back to the main road and set up there.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so glad you did not
Dara,
notice the
are
change in
waiting
Ladara's accent.
patiently.
Because I was so worried and I was so
The
scared.
man yells and says,
It was
"All right,
wild. It was a
time's
really
up."
cool
And he
decision.
begins to walk
I know.
over.
I'm so
This
glad
guy's
I went
yelling.
for it.
Sudden,
Is this
you hear,
Bonnie? No, sorry. Very excited.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
I thought it was the Bonnie entrance.
I understand.
Too excited.
Time's
To
up.
see.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Azram. Standing in the
Here it
middle of the
comes.
street. I would
Why do
like
I
to
sound
create
like 5
a
years
little
younger?
bit of wind around his feet, so all
Yeah, what
the
happened to our
same
voices? When we sound,
kind of
I like talked up here.
You just, I feel like
feeling.
we were all just trying a little bit harder with our like, you know, to talk on like a recording. So I feel like you were like making your voice a little bit higher pitched than it naturally is.
Is like, well,
Because your voice is kind of deep.
I knew I was popular. I really knew that people
That's
really
crazy.
loved me. But to think that in this small town, that someone as lowly as you would be so interested in me. I'm
Oh,
flattered, really. As he's walking, his whip comes out of his hand, and then as his whip appears in his hand,
Cue
he
me.
drags it on the ground, brings a little bit of eldritch into it to make it sparkle just a little bit. As
Wow.
he's doing this,
So cool.
slowly a tattoo starts to appear down his left arm. It looks like lightning bolts and like covering his entire arm as he's like, I didn't want to have to do it this way. And
Oop.
he cracks the whip on the ground.
And
Period.
thaumaturgy to
Hot.
make it sound like loud ass thunder.
Wow.
Wum
See a
wum
couple
wum
of
wum wum.
gunslingers kind of falter a bit. Go ahead and make an intimidation check with advantage. Ladar, you're watching Azarom.
Ladara sees Azram first walk out, and she's immediately like, "Oh my fucking
Nothing's
God,
changed.
What are we about to do?"
Renier, shut up. Is this part of the plan?
You know, I never know at this point.
Intimidation,
Still true.
24.
Woo!
Gunslingers all look at each other.
Well, we started at level 10, right?
Faltering. The main
Yeah, I think
one,
so.
This fellow
What
with
level
sort
were you
of
now?
short, reddish
12 or
hair that was
13.
taking a step
Oh, shit.
forward, putting his guns in
It's been
holsters.
50 episodes.
He says, "There
God
we
damn.
are,
50,
Here it
50
comes.
sessions.
making us wait for a very nice dramatic entrance," he says as he kind of steps forward. His men
Oh,
falter
almost got close to the
down.
mic there.
He says, "Listen, we want you to come quietly. We don't have to hurt you. Don't have to shoot you. You simply need to apologize to our boss for what you've done."
Now, what exactly have I done?
Now, listen,
Now.
here. Someone fitting your description came through here, Air Genasi. Goes through and takes out about, what is it? A whole group of our men. And,
Oh,
well,
man.
there's not many Genasi that pass through here, is there?
It was
Now, unfortunately, Doug Digadome looking ass. This is the first time that I have been through this town.
There it is.
I would know
He's
because
Doug.
honestly,
incredible.
it
Classic.
smells horrible
Iconic.
here. I have
The
such a
classic
bad cough.
moment.
This air, not good. You guys should really
Not
get
good.
Not good.
around here.
Just bad.
This air, not good.
He said,
So,
He's like, I would know.
I don't know who you have me mistaken for,
Get an air purifier.
but if you want me to kick your ass, that's all you have to say.
Nice line.
On his
"Can I pause?
as he's
I have some. So the Doug Digadome thing. There's a reason why that was living in my brain, and the reason that I thought of it, and I wanted to
Get it
come
out.
clean.
Oh,
Let it all out.
It's because we wrote the line.
No. It's because right before this had come out, the K-pop group Super M had released a song called like 100 or something, which
Is
was
that the
Don't
Lego
say
100
or
one?
something. Don't say or something like you don't know.
You you don't know.
Or something.
Is that the Target one?
100.
we go 100.
Yes, it is the Target one.
It's the Target one. Okay.
And and there's a member in
Yeah?
the music video
Yes,
that
you
is
remember.
dressed like Doug Digadome.
Yeah.
Payment
Dimmadome.
from Shiny.
Taman from Shiny. And so that had been living in my head like so much. So as soon as so basically it's because of Taman from Shiny.
Oh my god.
Always
Just-
comes full circle back to Taman.
That is so
Just
funny.
say
It's,
Taman.
Hey, let's take a break. Let's go ahead and stream 100 real quick.
we go
Our
100,
React
folks.
stream.
We go.
If you hear 100 in an upcoming episode, don't be shocked.
Oh
Putting
my
it.
god.
We'll do a cover.
That's so funny. Well,
Kidding.
Taman has marked our podcast with his
Well,
presence.
Thank goodness.
SM's coming to sue us now.
No.
Please come on.
Oh my god. All roads lead to
Alright.
Taman.
All roads.
Oh my god.
Go.
So that was my backstory. That's all I have to share. You can play again.
Anyways.
Absolutely incredible.
And back to the episode,
Back
folks.
back to the episode.
faltering, he says, "My name's not Duck," he says, as he kind of readies his weapons. And there's just this very, very tense atmosphere. Ladari, what are you doing? This man looks like he's about to draw on Azram.
Immediately.
I've never done
shoots
an Irish
an arrow
accent
at
like
him.
that ever again.
Roll an attack with advantage because he
Use
does
a really
not
good
see
accent.
you.
This whole time I've also
Better than mine.
Period.
crossbow, but I've not stepped out yet.
Dude,
Vincent is dying listening to you call him that.
16 plus 8.
16 plus 8 definitely hits, and this triggers your assassinate feature, which means this is an auto crit with sneak attack.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and roll. It's
Some
plus-
ridiculous
what's your
amount of
attack
dice.
now at level 10?
Of course.
5d6.
5d6.
Been so
plus
long
the-
since you've done
what
assassinate
crossbow are you
damage.
using? Hand
I
crossbow, light
know. I need to kill
hand
something.
Oh.
crossbow?
Oh, there.
Not me.
Whoa.
Not me.
12d6.
The next
So
sparring
roll
match with
Legal
Auna
reasons.
goes wrong.
12d6
Oh my God,
for
stop.
me.
Escalators.
36.
36, that's 12d6?
Me, the calculator.
36 points of damage
Mick is my
plus-
human
what's your bonus?
calculator, always.
Plus 4.
Plus 40 points of damage as you are getting ready to do whatever it is you're about to do, an arrow strikes him in the shoulder. Says, "Kill him!" I need everyone here to roll initiative.
I love Azzy's line here.
Your D6s, ma'am. That's
I
fine.
rolled a 14.
14.
Yes, sir.
There rolled one above you.
12.
12. And everyone. You're not surprised any longer.
Natural 20.
Natural 20 for what is the
Who's talking outside my door?
21. Top of the round, you just beat him out.
Let's dead note
Azram,
on again.
that is you.
So Azram looks first around and is like, I really hope that's you, Ladara. If it's not, whoever you are, please don't shoot me. And he cracks his whip.
I really hope that's you. I love that
Ladara.
line.
Never talked again.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack rolls.
First one is 20 to hit.
20 does hit.
Second one is 10 to hit.
Oh, you can hear in the background. Pew, pew,
Does
pew,
not
pew.
hit.
Me playing sound
Oh,
effects
sorry.
over the speaker.
The second one was 15.
Pew, pew.
15 just misses.
God, we never did anything in post.
15 points of damage
No,
as
nothing.
he's
We just
Not at
said,
taken off guard
like,
by a
well,
crossbow bolt that
Kayla
has pierced his
had it
shoulder.
down,
He
but
turns to
Yeah.
look where it came from,
Otherwise, we didn't
and
have
as he
nothing.
looks back, the whip is already coming up. A crack of eldritch energy fires from the whip and collides. The other one going past him. That's your turn. Anything else? Bonus action? Movement? Are you moving to take cover anywhere? There's alleyways around you. There's a couple there's like wagons and stuff.
I would
And-
try to hide behind like a wagon. Probably.
Okay. You're able to duck behind a wagon to give yourself, I'll say, half cover, which is +3 to your AC.
It's not.
It's not.
His turn, as you have now struck
It's not.
this person.
It's +2. I'm just. I don't know what's
Damn.
going on here.
Very much not happy
Well,
about that.
that's
This
alright.
person is going to make 2 pistol attacks on. He's gonna make one towards you and then one towards Ladara. First one is.
Almost want to pull up
23
at the
to
end of
hit
this.
you
I almost
at
want to pull up like
Sarum,
one of our
but-
most recent
okay.
episodes.
And then the second
Yeah,
one
like the-
for
And just
Ladara
for like a
Comparison
5-minute.
is
Yeah.
Like the
19
Lunastra
plus,
first
yep,
scene.
That's 26 to hit.
Didn't you have something that was like, if you're partially covered?
We could potentially do that. I don't know if
You
anybody
are
would.
partially
be
covered,
interested in
Ladara. You also have
hearing
+3
that.
to
We have
your
time,
AC.
sure.
We got time.
26. Okay, it's still a 26.
Yeah, come on.
Unfortunately,
Don't
first
stare.
one against you, Azram, is just 6 points of damage. Just as a bullet grazes you. The other one against you, Ladara, is 12 points of damage as the bullet strikes through the wood. That's his turn. He's going to duck behind what cover he can. He kind of gets into one of like saloon pillars on this patio to try and give himself some cover. And that's going to bring us to the next one, who fires a shot at Azram.
Designated studio space, you
Then,
say?
That brings us then to nope, 2 shots. Sorry, misses again. There's just firing now. These people in the middle of the thoroughfare just trying to blast around them at anyone they can see. They can only see Azram and Ladara currently. This one's 18.
Chris?
Doesn't hit because you're at 19 right now.
It
Then
looks
another
like the
bullet
background
splinters
is
into the
gone
cover.
on the
This one
stream.
does hit.
Oh. 1 second.
Another 9 points of damage as a bullet catches
I can't
you.
see their
as
lovely
the gunfire is
design.
now raining down upon. Renair's
There we
going to take this
Let me know if
as
that
it's
works.
time to start fighting. Renair charges out into the thoroughfare and is going to go for a strike on one of these people here, or 2 of these people, because he has 2 attacks. They both hit, and he
It's
slices
gone.
at 2 of them. One
That
for
time.
8 points of damage, and the other one for 13 points of damage.
Is this the episode where
that's
Renair's
you.
like, who's next? Or is that episode 4?
That's episode
No,
4.
that's later.
Episode
Damn.
4 fight.
With my,
Renair has a moment in this one.
crossbow in front of me.
There's a main guy there, and there's 5
I'm
friends
gonna
behind
beloved.
him. Let's say from left to right, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically.
looking.
2 of them are taking cover. 3 of them are still
Sometimes I
stuck
just
out
learn a
in the
word and I
thoroughfare,
just use it for-
not fully ready with their guns yet. So 3, 4, and 5 are still out there.
Can I walk out with my crossbow drawn and point it right at them and turn my eyes black with thaumaturgy and be like, "Get out of here! This is not your fight."
Make an intimidation check on these 3 that are caught off guard with their guns, not sure who to
It
shoot
is
at.
their fight. They're getting
8
shot.
plus 6.
14.
14.
You come out there with the blackened eyes of the crossbow. You can just, there's another one, and then just immediately
They turn around and start shooting at you.
firing towards you. The gun firing off.
Thank you, Carissa. Oh, thank you, Carissa.
It didn't work.
All right,
Didn't work.
Ladara.
We
it's
do
you.
have a Kofi.
You're up here. You're taking fire from three of them that are trying
If
to
you would
take
like to check it
cover
out.
behind
You
what
don't
little
have to,
cover
but
they
that would
have
be
out
nice.
here.
We use a gun once, you know?
It's a gun once.
Over them.
Not the gun.
The one
there any
gun,
way
the
that
one
I
use
can
of the gun.
get
One time that she
Closer,
ever.
like can I like
used
jump on
it.
like a
That
roof or
one
something
time.
to kind of get like down
So good.
maybe so that I'm not like
Do you want to get down to the ground level? Or you want to get to a different roof?
to a different roof. If there's like a lower roof or something like that, or anything just like I don't know. If there's
There's one a
anywhere
little bit higher than the one.
Okay.
You could try and jump up there if you'd like.
And is it closer to them?
It's closer to them. It's in the. You're basically jumping onto the roof of the saloon at that point.
Okay, yeah, then I'll do that.
Okay, make an acrobatics check.
16.
16. You have some experience leaping across the rooftops. But this time you know what's going on. You leap over.
Have we
and-
passed
Yeah, you can
the?
pause
I'm not
it
sure if
there.
you're
You
gonna
can
catch it or
pause
not.
that there and
You're
you
able
talk
to
that
get onto a
reference.
window on
The
it,
first
which is you're
natural
not
one,
positioned
like
to
the big
leap
one
up.
from
What was it?
Ladara. The rooftop incident back when we were
Oh my god.
God.
Oh my god.
Never
Oh
lived
my
it
god.
down. It's been like 2.5 years.
Haunting me.
That was
Absolutely
so funny.
haunting me. That was literally. I cannot
We
believe.
can never forget it ever.
What was it? Was it like how early in us playing was
I mean,
that?
Pretty
God,
early.
It was really early.
It was
It
like
was-
the third or fourth session or something.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's like pretty early on.
It's
But basically-
it's so memorable because it was so early on.
Yeah, back in Saniath, or what was Waterdeep at the time, they have like griffin guards to make sure that there's no one suspicious. So like flying over the city, and then Ladar was on a rooftop being suspicious, and I was like, oh, they see you, and Ladar's like, oh god, and so Ladar's like, okay, roll an acrobatics check to jump across, and it's like, don't worry, I got this.
I got it, folks.
She's like,
Hold it.
I'm good at this. I'm good at this
Rolled
one.
an immediate natural one, missed the other roof, fell directly into a dumpster, and went unconscious.
Literally, like,
Zero health.
like imagine a pigeon flying into like a glass door or something, like a window, just like a go and a fall.
a
I feel like that's what
dumpster.
happened.
Asram
was
like
so
grabs her by the
funny.
clothes out of the trash can, like, what the fuck are you doing, homie?
Why do you
Zero
smell a
health.
little bit?
He's like, hey, Lida.
Ooh, you smell like
Trash
trash.
And so ever since then,
So
Every time there's
that
any
is
acrobatic check.
not Ladara's greatest moment. Definitely not.
Definitely not.
that's hilarious.
Making a point to make a reference whenever she jumps across the rooftop to be like, you're pretty
Anytime.
good.
It's like, make sure you don't like crash into a window or something, you know.
Completely unconscious.
Yeah, yeah. Like actually.
Keep playing the episode.
Rip.
Yeah. Go for it. Back to the episode. Back to the episode,
Flip
folks.
yourself over. You're now on the
Poor
roof of the
Ladara.
saloon. You have full cover, which is +5 to your AC. And
That's
you
correct.
have a clear view of the three that are down there. That's not your action, that's your movement. So go ahead, take your action now if you'd like.
She's gonna bring out the big guns. She's going to pull out one of her poison arrows
Gotcha.
to shoot at him. The main guy who is attacking.
Main guy is from this cover, you wouldn't be able to see him,
Okay.
unfortunately. There's three that are currently in the middle that you can see, and Renair is next to two of them.
Okay, how close is he to them? So he's like directly.
He's right on them. You get sneak attack if you get him.
See, because I have splinter shot, but that is like anyone within a 15-foot cone.
Or an air.
You could possibly position it so that it hits one that Renair is not next to, and one that he is next to without hitting Renair, if that makes sense.
Okay, then I'm gonna try to do that.
Sure, go for it. Take your shot. What is the save I need to do there, if there is a save?
Dexterity saving throw. Make a DC 15. Sorry.
One of them saves, the other one does not. So the one next to Renair does not save. The other one does.
Natural 20 plus 9.
Okay, that's another crit. So
On the top.
the roll damage for the one that did save first. Who you don't get sneak attack on. So whatever splinter shots damage is. What's splinter shots damage?
1d6 plus 5.
So 2d6 plus 5 for that.
1d6 plus 5.
Why is Ladara overpowered?
12 points of damage.
Tara
This
overpowered.
Splinter Shot is replacing this regular attack, right?
Right.
Ladara
Man.
can't roll below like a 20 for half of her stats.
That's true. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
7.
I don't know, I'll ask her.
I don't know. I'll ask her. I'll see how she feels about that. I'll tell her to get rid of some of the daggers.
Fantastic. That brings us to those ones down there. That one that just got hit by a Splinter Shot is going to run back across the street to get cover and also see you, but also sees you running out. It's going to take a shot at you and you. Natural, I don't know, not that good. Doesn't hit you. You should hit, I think, 23.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Should hit.
Should hit. Nope.
Hard.
6 points of damage
Okay.
as a bullet grazes you. Renner
I think
turns his
Vincent's
focus-
AC is
Vincent!
still like
And
60.
looks towards the one. This is you. And that
Oh, I love
brings us to the
them.
next one that is next to Renair, who cannot
Yeah.
kill
Oh,
Renair.
Renair.
And is instead going to try and slash at
I
Renair.
love him.
Natural 2. Renair
Nice.
easily gets out of its way. And natural 1. Renair
He's
again
protective.
easily. Listen, this is not working for you, obviously. And the last one is going to make some swipes on Renair 2. Natural 2. And natural 7.
no one can
plus
hit
1.
Renair.
Renair's AC.
Damn.
No, Renair's fighting off these
He's
two
got
guys
really
on
high
his own
AC.
as he's
Damn.
trying to dissuade them from attacking his companion.
You know, I get it. I
At the
miss
top
him
of the round,
too.
Azram, that's you. You're now ducked as
Finally.
there's bullets hailing from all directions from these gunslingers.
Can I see?
Distance makes the heart
Currently,
grow
you can
fonder.
see just about everybody. Everyone has some.
You know, I'm finally starting to warm up to
guy
Renair.
Has like the most cover. But everyone at this point,
Finally,
except for
just
the two
now.
that Renair is
Just
fighting,
now.
Is in like heavy cover.
And are they close to each other?
Those two, the ones that were the Renairs.
Just any of them semi close to each other?
I would say one and the main guy are close to each other. There's two people that are near each other that isn't next to Renair.
I'm going to cast Firebolt at the main guy. You said I can see him?
You can see him.
Okay, yeah, Firebolt at him.
I don't know if I've used this spell since.
13 to hit does not hit.
Firebolt?
As you- a
Fire,
firebolt
yeah, just like
crashes into
firebolt.
the side of
Eldritch
the
Blast,
saloon,
though, has always
thankfully
been the-
not setting it
the
ablaze,
choice.
but dissipating against the surface. Let me roll something here. Okay. As you fire that firebolt, he yells out, "You're gonna have to try harder than that!" And you see the saloon doors get kicked open.
This is
as a
it.
figure in a black trench coat places a gun to the temple of the
It's really
main guy
exciting.
and says,
Oh my god.
"Carrie, I've come for you." As you see,
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
here that turn crystalline
I miss
like
you
amber,
every day.
wearing
I love
getup
you
and
and I
a
miss
leather black
you.
trench coat.
For those of you
As
in
this
the
guy hands
for those
up,
of you
the other
first
one
time chat,
looking onward,
Ernest, for those of you who
Chat
don't
goes
know,
wild for Bonnie.
the other one looking onward.
if you haven't read it already, there's
tries
an
to point the
epilogue
gun, but
of
she's already
Weldon
has
that
the second
says
one
where Bonnie
pointed
is.
towards
That's in the
him.
Discord.
And you currently
For
have an
spoilers.
extra
Oh, it's
ally
so
in this
good.
fight as this
Christian, when do you think we're gonna see Bonnie again?
and is holding.
no.
I think
these
you might
two.
see her
That's her turn. Is to
Sooner than
intimidate these
expected.
two
Maybe
on
just
his
not
Really?
in the main story.
You can't do anything.
Hmm. That's
That's
quirky.
Just take the dodge
Very
action and get ready.
quirky.
I wonder what that could be
Need
about.
More fire.
I wonder what that
The
could be
person
about.
that's holding the gun
I
is
felt
going to
Everyone in the
make another
chat,
morale check.
y'all are.
hold it steady.
Bonnie
There's a
loves
small
him first.
standoff happening here. This one's just going to fire at you, Azram. Natural 1, which is actually on a gun, is a misfire. So he cannot take the rest of his attacks this round as his gun
In Geronimo's
Geronimo's
voice.
voice.
as he's trying to get it unjammed. So he has to fix it. As his next action,
Don't
which
blame
fails.
my
So
emotions.
as he's trying to get it fixed, he's looking at you.
Oh, I thought one of you
who is
screamed it was me. And
very much looking back at Renair. Renair's still in combat with these two. Hits one of those attacks and deals 8 points of damage to one of them, who is looking like he's about to start running. And that's Vincent.
So it looks like everything is kind of stopped for a second.
And
We're, like,
There's
Oh,
a few that haven't noticed that this is happening.
okay.
Oh,
about,
old
I'll
combat
say,
system.
only the one has noticed that the leader is being held up. There's 4 more that are still locked in this gunfight.
Okay.
And 2 of them are engaged with Renair.
Okay.
It looks like one of them's about to bolt. You see that there's a new figure holding up 2 of these people, and you are completely unsure to who she is.
I'm like, I'm gonna leave that up to them. I'm gonna focus on
Literally
You and
Jenga
Todd.
now.
and I'm gonna let Azram
So
handle
funny.
whatever's going on over there. And I'm gonna shoot at the one that Renair's fighting. He's fighting one that looks like he's
Me
going to
being
run and
completely
one that
confused.
doesn't.
One that looks like he's not going to.
I'm
That's
gonna
alright.
shoot at that one.
Go for it. Make your shot.
I was this whole episode. I
Like,
remember feeling
like,
just
"What's going on?"
so
Alright, that's a 17.
so nervous about
17 hits.
everything I was
I'm
saying.
gonna use Psychic Blades.
Go for it.
Well,
Blades.
I'm gonna need
The worst part about this
5d6s.
mic setup was that I
don't have
couldn't
enough.
cut out like our
Four more.
our
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple.
like planning.
So many.
Yeah.
So
This-
many.
This was barely a setup. It was like
Fire those psychic blades.
3, 4. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
one microphone in the middle of a table, one microphone pointed towards
18
me.
points of damage.
18 points of damage. Your crossbow bolt sinks
Of
into
damage.
this gunslinger who is about to swing up a sword at Renair, and the crossbow bolt sinks in, and the impact is almost delayed as the pain is. Ugh,
Thank you for posting it.
ugh,
And I was like,
ugh,
scram!
ugh. Make an intimidation check. Free one.
Ooh.
It's not a high DC because this person is about to be gone.
12?
This person turns to start running. Is screaming as you can see the blood vessels in his face have tensed. Anything else your turn?
I'm going to just get. I don't think that I can get cover because I think that is like a whole.
It's a movement.
thing.
You can just move.
Okay, I'll move behind a pillar. I don't know.
You run over to like an alleyway and get into like behind the wall there to give
Yeah.
yourself
The
full cover.
Discord notifications
Yeah.
are coming
Best you
from
can.
me,
With
unfortunately.
view of Azram.
I am on
Ladara,
Do Not
you
Disturb,
see
and I
two
don't know
of
when I'm
them
getting
turn to run
notifications.
away. You see one more that's like across the street that is
Unfortunately.
aiming towards you.
Okay. Well, if he's
And one
aiming at
more in the
me,
road.
then I'm gonna aim at him.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go back to the poison arrow
Go for it.
because
Make your shot.
poison is my roots, you know.
Brings an arrow to a gunfight.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's working.
Maybe they should try it. They keep missing.
They should try. Yeah, they're not that great.
Yeah, get their ass.
That is 19.
Definitely hits.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll damage. You could have given yourself advantage, remember, with steady aim, if you wanted to use your bonus action to give yourself sneak attack.
Absolutely.
All right, roll again, just see if you're.
I feel like
Absolutely.
Christian would be like,
Okay.
you could do this,
Okay,
this, and
but yeah,
this,
sneak attack,
and we'd
so
always be like,
that's
sure.
66.
Yeah, he's
Plus
giving you a good
2d10.
deal.
Jesus Christ.
If he fails the con save, that is actually an important part. Is if he fails the con save, he takes the 2d10 or half. I will actually roll that. He does pass the con save. Just roll your full damage. 66 plus 2d10, and then tell me what the 10s say first.
It's 15.
15. 15 points of damage first to this person. Is that just the arrow damage?
That was just the d6.
Or just the d6? Gotcha.
Yeah,
so
I
the
did-
15 plus
Fuck 'em
4.
up.
Yeah, 15 plus 4.
Okay. 19 points of damage. Immediately.
Plus 14.
Plus 14, which is half.
Christian is not a
that.
merciful god.
This guy's gonna make a morale check real quick. Oh, natural 1. This guy
I give you
immediately
buggers
gets
during
hit by the
combat so I can
arrow, and
hurt
he's
you
like,
out of
I'm not
combat."
dying here. And he starts looking to run.
How many nat ones have you rolled so far?
I've rolled a lot of bad ones.
Wow.
This is the one that is still in combat with Vincent and Azram. Gonna take a shot at. No, this is the one that was near Renair. He's gonna take a shot at Renair because he's
Gonna
far
take a
enough
shot.
to. That hits.
very well.
Takes another shot at Renair. It's cocked.
Cocked.
That
Cocked.
also hits
Cocked.
Renair
Cocked.
just barely. 14 points of
Call and
damage to
response.
Renair as 2 bullets ping ping into size. Oh, that smarts. He's lucky. He's fine. It's the first damage
He's okay. He's fine.
Is he-
the
He's
other
doing just
two,
fine.
Is he really?
They start
Is
running
he
Doing
fine?
great.
down the
he
thoroughfare
okay?
with their
Are you
guns
sure?
in tow.
Doing so good.
At the top of the round, Azram, that's you.
How
see the
many
two-
feet away am I from the main guy?
You
Damn,
are,
I really
you can
cared
get
about
there
rules.
If you run up to him, you're within 30 feet of him.
Okay. As I'm walking up to him, I want to cast Lightning Lure.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
Another
Is that
spell
a
that I
save
don't
for
think
me?
I've used.
Or is that an attack?
Wait, which one is it?
You have used Lightning Lure. You used
Oh,
it
yeah.
against Geronimo's thugs.
Yeah, I did.
Can't believe
So
that I
I
remember
pull
this.
him 10 feet closer to me. And
Flies off the side of the saloon. The tiefling says, I hope you're not going after my bounty.
you have a bounty? That's even more fun. And then I also do 2d8 lightning damage.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll that damage.
3.
Renear's gonna be so goddamn out of the loop.
And what I want to do, I don't know if it's an action or a bonus action, but I wanted to try to like
After
try to
this
put my whip
episode,
and, like wrap it around him to like
after like
so
we
he
were
can't-
done playing
That's
this episode,
we'll
I
say
immediately
it's a
started
grapple. Go ahead and make
drawing Bonnie.
a
It's like
athletics check.
in between the first and second. We
Since it's
recorded
using
both
magic,
first
go ahead
and
use your
second
charisma
episode
instead. It's a charisma
in the
check.
same day.
17.
Natural
And I
20.
drew Bonnie
Yeah,
in
he
between.
isn't grappled, but he's
Perfect.
pulled
Because I
back.
was
and he
enamored.
breaks out, but he hits the ground.
I get
He's
it.
prone next to you as
I
you
agree.
pulled him down off the step. But he's looking up at you, and he's kind of discombobulated because he's had his guns not ready to fire. So he's next
Thanks,
to you.
Critical,
Anything
for
else? Bonus
taking the
action.
day off.
Movement.
I just want to be like,
That's funny.
Oh, that's true.
It was
what
for
do you
the
want
so-
from
it
me
was for
exactly?
their
Can I, are
birthday.
you?
They're
have
here
you
in the
been
chat.
convinced that you probably
Yeah,
should
Critical
leave?
Role's actually our
Matthew.
biggest fans.
Down,
Mhm.
just honestly,
Yeah, I was
I
talking
don't
to
know.
Tosh
Way, oh my
yesterday.
God.
kill you. I really
Travis.
think that I.
Hey, Travis.
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 Is just kind of wide.
Hey.
wide-eyed
Hey,
look
Laura.
at his
I hope you're
back.
doing well,
Like,
Laura.
And
Hey.
he says,
Hey
Looks
guys.
like I picked a fight
Matt.
that I apparently
Yeah, they're all
didn't bring
subbed to the
right men follow
Patreon.
through on. He says he still has his hands up with his gun on the ground as he's lying back on the ground. That brings us to the tiefling. Tiefling immediately turns towards the one person holding the gun that now she doesn't have to focus on the other guy. She turns.
He really
and
would. You're
immediately
so
goes to
right.
grapple and lasso. Let's see.
Oh my god, that was a Phantom of the Opera reference.
Oh, okay. Let's see if
Magical
okay. Absolutely
lasso.
fails. She turns. She kicks with her boot. Kicks his gun up, and then.
I wish I
when
was
the
that
lasso
person.
comes
Fine,
around,
you
it
can kick me
begins
with your
to
boot.
You can kick me with your boot every day.
And that is her
Oh
turn.
my god.
This guy's turn. As she's doing this, he's looking up at you. I need you to make either an. I think it's an.
If Taliesin
yeah,
cosplay
make an
Geronimo,
athletics
god, that would be
check.
so good. You're so right. Also,
Yay.
I agree.
Doesn't have the best.
Liam would like
Natural 20. That's crazy.
Vinny.
Spits upward, causing you to.
Vincent was kind of
pull back
inspired
at
by
how disgusting
Caleb
that
in
is,
a
and
roundabout
he's
way,
on his
so
feet, he goes behind you, puts the gun to your head. He goes, I'm taking this boy and I'm leaving.
What?
All right. As he's
What?
in a panic over what to do, you're grappled. That brings us to the person that is currently grappled and restrained can do nothing except try to break out, and that's not going to do it. And this person is still trying to get his gun to work. He's going to use his action to do that. He finally does, but he can't attack, so he just, I got it! Looks up. Where is everyone? That's
I
Renair.
got it.
Renair looks, he's, Azram!
Good for you.
And looks over, not entirely sure what to do. I think Renair's going to try to... Renair looks at all of you, and he says, this looks like a bad situation.
We should re-record the first
But-
episode.
I believe in
Line by line.
and cast, bless on all
I'm
three.
not against
Hey!
it. Just-
I'm not completely
Even as just like
opposed.
a one shot.
So you get to add a
Can I get a
D4 to
line?
all,
Get a line.
attack
Line.
rolls
We slowly re-record everything,
for
just
10 rounds.
Like just a remastered version, you know?
It's
a
a really good
remastered
spell.
version of every episode.
It's a free D4 to all your rolls until it breaks its concentration.
Okay, so every time we record now, we were gonna also record
Behind this guy
one
that's kind of
episode
looking around,
a week
pointed mostly at the
of
tiefling,
the old
in black,
podcast.
with
We
one
would
hand
only
pointing
need to
at his head
remaster
and the
up till,
other
like,
one
episode
pointing
10.
towards
Yeah,
Yeah.
10
the
episodes
tiefling
of
kind of
re-recorded.
wildly trying to back down an alley, like across the street, to get down the alley to presumably a wagon or a horse.
Does he not see me?
He sees you. He just
Okay.
can't. It's just you're behind him and she's in front of him, so he's like having to do this.
Okay.
Scripted
Kind
date.
Well, how far away am I?
You're within 30 feet.
Does Azram look like he's distressed, or does he look like he has a plan?
Azarum is
Yeah, could you imagine an AU
I'm
where,
trying to get
AU where
a
we're all
read on him, you know what I'm
redoing
saying?
this, but we're
He looks
like on set
he
for like a
isn't
Western
very
film?
frightened.
You're
He's like,
filming
okay,
this.
haha, sure.
Damn, I don't
It's
know.
Azram's like, stop. Like, what's my motivation here?
He's like, I gotta get in character.
Stop.
It's
Cut.
in the moment. What do you think will help Azram in this moment? Because even though Azram is kind of carefree, it's
Right.
not because Azram definitely has the situation under hand. It's
Yeah,
mostly
I
just
know.
because Azram is confident in his own abilities. So you just see someone who's about to shoot your buddy here in the head.
Your homie.
Then what'll
I was
happen
gonna
is-
say
is I
buddy.
prepare
Wow,
polymorph,
Christian.
I looked at the guy and I'm like, wait, he's already being hogtied. And then I look at the
Christian
guy
being the
that's
director
got Azram,
works
and I'll
very
be
well.
Like, I'm might as well use it on you.
That's so
Aona
good.
and
I'll cast polymorph.
Aona and Azram would be each other's stunt doubles.
Wisdom save.
Oh my god, you're
Whoa,
so
wow.
Oh my God.
right.
Wisdom save. 16.
Oh my
well, 17,
god.
but his wisdom is -2.
Oh my god.
He's not very wise.
Oh, thank God.
Is this where I
He
polymorph?
is not very
Is this the
wise.
turtle?
As
Yep.
he turns.
This polymorph.
What?
The first
And
polymorph.
what
First
he
turtle.
turns to-
Transforms into a small turtle.
I turtled him.
The first turtle of this
The
campaign.
first turtle. And now
Very
Durnan was
round
turtled.
Azram's feet.
Now
Durnan was
Durnan's
turtled.
turtled.
Permanently.
Azram like,
I panicked.
turtles are so cute.
It goes-
I think that
The
Durnan
turtle-
should be in the
turtle's like,
podcast.
Didn't Durnan and Yarlax
Like,
hook
you
up?
with his turtle mouth.
Pause the episode.
On
Like,
stream,
You are
Michaela.
watching the scene. You see Azram held hostage, and then all of a sudden the guy.
Maybe.
Make a perception check.
My bad.
Funny.
Explain.
What the fuck is going on?
Isn't it like
I've
history?
never said that out loud.
Out loud.
I've only implied it.
Is enough to see that there is now a small turtle. At
I
Azram's
can
feet.
answer.
No, what the fuck?
And there's one person
Dea,
left
please
in
give us
the
your knowledge.
road who is shooting at Renair currently, who's trying to advance on this person.
Give it up.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
She's right there.
At least once or twice they
Um,
were rivals.
Oh my god, it's
Oh.
Steamy. Can someone please write a fanfic?
Please. Fanfic writers in the chat.
They were
Please.
rivals. Durnan was a powerful adventurer, and Darlax was also a
That's right,
powerful
yeah.
adventurer.
Enemies to lovers?
No way.
Show
They
loves a good enemies to lovers.
I love enemies to lovers.
Oh my god.
Implied a little bit pre-podcast and a little bit in the role-playing event.
This guy's passive perception
Oh,
is
I
not
didn't do
high.
advantage.
Hmm.
Advantage?
You do have advantage with the boots.
Well, let's just see. Let's just see.
Let's just see.
Then they
Let's just see.
smashed.
Oh my god.
24. Yeah, no, you slinko across the roof onto
That's
the
incredible.
awning of the saloon itself, and then you leap as this guy is preparing another.
See, this is
volley
the kind of
shots
info
at
you guys
Renair.
only get if you watch the
are already
stream.
Only if you
tough
get
guys
out there on the
with
stream.
advantage.
Exclusive
Can I hit him with my
content.
dagger? Kinda
Yes,
like
you
bring it up,
absolutely
like,
can.
the dagger of venom, of course. You know, just
Make that attack.
a little venom moment.
A little venom moment.
Cocked.
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 Back.
We got two
Cocked.
in one episode.
It's advantage.
2 cocks.
Alright.
Alright, let me mute my mic.
I'm on my own
Michaela, you actually
stream.
muted for the rest of the stream.
Two strikes are out.
1d4, 5d6. Attack.
You got one more
This
strike.
attack As this guy is all of a
Just
sudden
kidding.
descended
I
upon
don't care.
from above.
1d4.
Get his ass.
4.
Full 4.
5d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
10, 15, 19.
19 points of damage. You
Is that
basically.
plus anything?
Uh,
19 plus
oh,
4.
plus your dex, so 4. You killed this guy. You leap on top of this guy.
You killed
as,
this guy.
As Renair is
Nope,
getting ready
yeah,
to
you killed
advance,
Yeah,
and
he's gone.
You leap and just plunge the dagger. This guy
Christian, who
hits
do you
the
think
ground. It's
killed
like
the most
Assassin's
people out of
Creed
the
style.
three?
Yes!
Like assassination.
Gee,
style
Madonna.
ground. He's dead before.
Oh, actually,
So satisfying.
I
you hit the
confirmed
ground.
kills is hard. I
All
know
these
Vincent
people
has
are
at least
running.
2.
The main guy initially
I hate
it's over
we know.
as the
hate you
tiefling
so
she
much.
finishes hog tying
You make
this
me
fellow on
sick.
the ground here. Damn it! And she kind of gets back
Tough
up.
one.
She looks and she says, "Now where the hell?"
Oh, wow.
did Bounty go?"
The turtle. I
What?
panicked.
Well.
I panicked. I'm sorry. He's a turtle for the next hour.
It's so cute.
I see.
Michaela
Well.
IRL loves turtles.
Good job, y'all. Held your own
They're
pretty
really
well.
cute.
Sorry, it took me a
I
while.
love turtles,
to,
too.
get
Do you have
a
into
favorite-
action
do you have a
here. She
favorite
says
type
she
of
pulls
turtle?
her guns into the holsters.
Like a
Um,
sea
as
turtle.
she
I used
walks
to. Let me
over
see if I can try to
to,
remember the name of it.
Vidara walks over to you two. Finally. She's like,
Is everyone alright?
what the fuck did you two do? What? How did we left for like not that
What the
long.
fuck?
I feel like I've sworn this so
Well,
often
You see.
so far.
He said,
Alright,
wow.
you should know
Really
by now.
swearing.
People
Wow,
love me.
Michelle, what are you doing?
And imagine
I'll really be
Vincent and
swearing.
I
She's like, what the fuck?
enjoying
She's
a
like, what the
lovely
fuck are we
afternoon
doing?
when all of a sudden some man comes up. He's like, "Arr, I'm looking for a genasi," and
That's what he sounded
honestly,
like.
I'm probably the only fucking Genasi in this town, okay?
Nope.
And so I was sitting there and I was like,
Nope.
it's me. So
Christian, how
I
far is
have to
Alana
do.
from us at this point?
So
Aona is
I went on the street
currently
and
traveling
and
to
now
Weldon.
Here he is. And I hold up the
Oh my
turtle
God.
and I'm like,
Damn.
Yeah. Who are you?
If not, like,
Yeah,
already,
yeah,
like,
are you?
almost
Oh,
there.
Pardon me. Allow me to make my introduction.
Pardon
My name's
me.
Bonnie. I'm a peacekeeper around these parts. Well, at least this is where I tend to travel around. I take it you're not from this area or don't really know what the situation is with these fine fellas. She turns as you see the outlaws running down the street far, far away.
do I look like I'm from here? People keep asking me this. Do I actually, like, be honest? Could you imagine me right now here, living here? This is my life.
Right.
Oh my
no,
God.
Definitely not from.
No.
Destroying the people of
None of us
Goldstead.
have some accents, so I think that's the biggest hint.
Right. Yeah. We don't.
Ladora and her
I can
American
actually-
accent. None of us like have
What
accents.
I'm getting is from what he's telling me that I understand forces like you, but what
If you pause for a second, I can actually explain what happens to Aona after Goldstead.
Ooh,
finally,
yes,
after all this
please.
time.
Oh my god.
Okay, so Aona goes, beats up all these people in Goldstead, travels to Weldon. At this point, Aona has decided to abandon his mission, face his consequences, fight, and probably die.
Oh my
That's his whole thing.
God.
He's like, this is it. Like I messed up. I couldn't kill him, so now I need to go face my father so I can either win a fight or die.
Oh
my
my
God.
god.
And he gets to
I wanna
Weldon.
know.
He is in a state. He's distressed because he's like afraid of what he's going to face as he gets like further and further east, and he starts getting harassed by I believe it's thorns. Thorns start harassing him.
Boo.
You
The
stink.
Thorn family starts to harass him because he's been traveling. He's dirty. He's kind of
Leave him
in the
alone.
moment.
Stop calling Alana dirty and stinky.
They start harassing him. They instigate a fight. He starts the fight. He beats them up. I think it's Tyron.
No.
I think it's Tyron that stops the
Boo.
fight by stabbing him with a dagger that Valentina gave him.
Boo. Tomato, tomato.
Tomato.
Tyron sees his people getting beat up. He stabs Aona with the poison dagger, the one that
Makes sense.
Spoilers. And
Spoilers.
and then they kind of think he's going to die, so they leave him in the streets. But that's why the stables are destroyed in that area, because he destroys the stables in the fight in Weldon.
Oh my gosh.
God, he's so
he
hot.
So they leave him to die. Adelaide sees him on the road as she's like
Yeah.
walking home, like left to die. Like he's kind of like kind of like limped his way into like an alleyway. She sees him on the way home. She like literally like drags him to the Undercity, and then that family starts taking care of him because of that.
God, he
He's
has
like-
known nothing but pain in his life, huh? He has
Poor
like only been
dude.
tortured, right?
Oh no, I love you.
He's just had a very very tough life.
God
I think
damn.
the first bit of kindness he's been shown was Adelaide finding him
Oh.
and like taking him in, and that's also why he's so fervently like defends them later on. Is because he's like, I don't know these people, but they took care of me, and no one's taken care of me before. And that's the Aona.
Alana, I love you.
That's great.
And he's grown a little bit. He still has like a hot streak in him in which he'll
Yeah, he
still
does.
fight. Well,
Okay.
I'm
in which
sorry.
he's
I'll mute
ready
my
to
mic.
fight.
Third strike, Michaela.
Strike 3. But he's been able to calm down because he's kind of to him all of Soph is like a balancing force in his eyes.
Shut up.
Like so they've been surprisingly, you might not think of it, like you all being kind of outrageous allows him to see the humor in being, in life and things like that.
I'm gonna
So
cry.
Goofy and silly.
I'm gonna sob right now.
Ugh.
I love him.
I want to soft talk when.
Oh yeah, when?
Eventually, I will get to it. I had this thought where I was like, but I don't want to just be me talking about NPCs on Soft Talk.
It's what the people want.
It's
The
what I
people
want.
believe. People believe in it. All right,
Wow. I
gamers.
can't believe it.
There you go. I can finally explain that after all this time. I've had that in
Thank
my
you.
head, and I just forgot about it because it just never came up.
We should do these more often so I can understand how things.
You know the characters.
College. So, he had the wrong guy.
You're not the Genasi that they're all up in arms about, then?
Nope. I think we would know.
Yeah, that'd be.
I've
kinda
been a little
awkward.
busy the past couple of months.
The understatement.
Yes. You see, Renere speaks up. This is our first
Can I do Deville's
few
soft
hours
talk?
in town, honestly.
You make it up, and I
Since I
just
wasn't-
follow whatever you say.
I wasn't able to be there for the Renere one.
Had
Oh, you want to question it? Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
great.
a couple.
Oh no, you thought I was just gonna be the
I
one.
thought you'd be the one answering the questions.
Just make it up as I go. That would be pretty
Then,
funny.
To hell
Oh my
of a
God.
coincidence, I've been sort of staking the town. See, sheriff's been run out. Most of this town is under the Donegan gang at this point, and well, I heard that a whole bunch of these boys got taken out by an air genasi, and we don't see many air genasi around these parts.
The Donegan gang, then.
It's true.
That's
Adelaide literally
where
did save her little brother without even
So we know what
realizing.
we're getting into. I feel like
Aw.
they're not gonna leave us alone after this. How many are there?
Well,
It's a
the
little
whole
flashback
gang,
character.
I've been doing some staking out around where they're holed up over in the Plainswood. Around 30 of them.
Yikes.
It's a good amount of them. And they're all up in arms from the ones that I've interrogated. I gotta add him to that list soon. Over an air genasi. It looks like Denton O'Donegan's not gonna stop until he gets
Didn't know
his air
Donegan.
Didn't know doggy. Didn't know doggy did.
Denton?
genasi.
This is actually, I really just couldn't pronounce his
Son of a
name.
bitch.
It's okay.
I really was like, Denton.
Son
Oh,
of a bitch.
what?
It's so convenient that
Didn't
you're
know
looking
what?
for an air genasi and you just happen to be an air genasi.
Well, I think we know who it might be.
I think we know who it might be.
I think we know.
That is a little awkward. So, how long ago was this air genasi here?
The people that I've interrogated, it looks like it's within the past few days. I mean, it looks like they just passed through, honestly. This is why when they heard that an air genasi had come back, they might have assumed it was the same person. Now, I'm sure you could try to explain that situation to them and clear up the misunderstanding, but something tells me they're more shoot first.
Maybe we should just get out of town.
Honestly, I think we should just leave. I don't like it here. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Alright.
They really just attack for no reason, and that's not really logistical from their standpoint because honestly, like, they couldn't.
Yeah, get their ass.
Get him on the
Yeah,
logistics.
that's kind of rude. So honestly, I don't.
Yeah, that was really
know where
rude.
our
So
options are. I feel like they're not really open to suggestion at this point.
You know,
it's like a therapist. I feel like maybe like not open to like suggestions.
As you are having this,
I'm not really good at communicating, so.
let's get out of
Oh
here.
my god.
You just gotta leave. You feel your whip and that sort of pulsing direction into the plains.
Not the whip.
Further
Not
out
the
of town,
whip, not the
and you are
huntsmaster.
quickly reminded of
I
some
forgot that
business
Azram's
you need to take care
a
of
warlock.
before
Oops.
Me
a
too,
certain
sometimes.
All coming together.
It's
being
alright, sometimes I
that
forget
is
Vincent's a bard. I'm
apparently
like, oh yeah, I can't.
somewhere nearby this very not your style town.
Yeah, I think we should.
We should what?
Are you what? Words, please.
You're right.
Yeah, I think we should just. Honestly, is there an inn? I just wanted a good night's sleep. Is it? What?
She looks.
Me
and
and the Dara make eye contact like, what is he on about?
she looks.
We
she
did
points
share a
back at
look.
the shot up
I
saloon.
just-
She says,
I was like, I don't know how to
You're in
convey this
for the night.
via
We're
audio
like,
only
we're
medium.
looking at each other right now.
We are looking at each other.
Do we have to? And I look, I give like a meaningful look, like.
How close is the next town?
You're looking at getting to Weldon at
Oh,
that
audio
point,
only
which is
medium.
more towards Ansir. If you're following the golden route, that's
I love
about
it.
another
You guys don't know, but I wear my pajamas for every episode.
Traveling by foot, by horse.
Oh, I don't even.
I do not.
Foot.
At this
By
point,
foot.
foot.
Okay, I was
understand.
like, have anything?
Traveling on
Car.
foot, it's gonna take.
It varies for me.
Varies.
Sometimes I'm feeling
Yeah,
PJs,
sometimes I
you
want to
know?
feel cute and quirky.
2 weeks.
Yeah, but sometimes sometimes I'm like, I want to put a little fit on, you know? Feel like I'm being a human being.
That's the border town into Ansir.
A human
Okay,
being.
So now you want
Bean.
to stay.
Bean?
No, I really. We're not here for sightseeing. I was just thinking, what's the next place?
It's pretty far.
It's pretty far. So if we want to rest for the night and then head out tomorrow, or
Right.
Okay, what time is it?
It's currently like close to midday. It's like you've been traveling through.
We
the
haven't
night.
even mentioned
Close to
Azurum's
there.
predicament yet.
It's middle.
He like
True.
brings it up in like a
Yeah,
flash.
Yeah, you've been traveling
Yeah.
throughout most of the morning to get.
Christian's like,
here,
and then all of a sudden you
hour in.
remember that
to
you
get
got something swimming around.
Yeah, swimming around. You got,
You got something not great going on.
I think we should re-record the first episode, but we should do it from memory and like the
Okay.
abridged version.
Sounds good.
Like people that were
Sure.
in there. And as soon as
Strings
the
of
scene goes
Fate
clear, they just start
on
booking it,
on edge
like,
or
people just
something,
running
like
back
off
to their
hinged.
homes, that sort of thing. She looks. She's listen. I have no stake in whether you stay
All
or
strings,
go,
no fate.
that sort of thing.
All strings, no fate.
But at the same time, staying in the inn might not be the best of ideas, especially now that all
One
of them
time, Michelle and
are
I
making
sent
their
Christian
way
and
back
Christine and
to
Dea a
them.
voice
I mean,
memo
that's
of
at
us
least
trying to
if they're
recall the
riding
entire
midday,
Goldstead arc from memory.
if they're not riding,
God.
I think we did pretty good. It was like 7 minutes long.
Would- They're definitely going to tell
No strings
him
attached.
that the Genasi's back in town.
No strings
So
already.
if
It was
you've
a lot
got
of
business in
realizations,
town,
like,
I say
oh,
clear
yeah,
it
that
up
did
quick
happen.
And then head on your way. We never dealt with your
We
your,
never dealt with your predicament.
expectancy.
Not
Oh, I didn't
expected.
say.
Why do you have
I
to
didn't
use
That's
that
right. I didn't
term?
use that.
Everyone's like,
word.
oh,
It's
God.
Christian!
Content warning, pregnancy stuff.
This is stuff that is. You've looked into it. You've had some of the best minds. in
Content
sovereignty
warning.
looking into this.
Pregnancy
And
jokes.
Just
all of
icky.
them
For me too.
are-
I was like, can we not?
They point you
I
towards,
was like,
this is
actually,
going to
dial it
this-
back.
We're going
experiment on
wild.
this. We can have something that's surefire done in maybe 6 months.
Play from
And
the music
that's a
from the
little too
speakers.
And
Bang.
Vajra's the one who would put you on this. She says,
Vajra.
in my limited travels
Vajra.
outside of Xenia,
I miss
That is a bit of a
Vajra so
flashback.
much.
I came upon a small town along the Golden Route. There's a doctor in that town. His methods are experimental, but he is brilliant. If there's someone who has a chance of figuring out what's going on, might be him. And back to present day, there's a couple bits of
I
business
really
to
eloquently
deal with in this
handled
town.
flashback.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
it was
we
really
find
quick
that
and
doctor that
clean.
Boston was telling us about before we head
I
out.
love Vajra. Please bring her back.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I really
What?
think that we should get
Christian.
that taken care of.
Christian! I have my favorite NPCs
A little more
every
sick,
time.
You know, honestly,
That
the
does.
most possible. I think we really
hate
do that
you
to
so
someone like
much.
me.
Just
You know,
kidding,
at
I
least
do
Christian didn't take your like canonical boyfriend and then make him betray you and stab you in the chest in front of all your friends.
Not. Yeah.
That's actually really true. You know, I like to talk about that one.
Do we have pause?
I-
Do we have
Now
pause?
that we have a- all right.
I just
well,
really
I
have to
think
get
we
something off my
maybe
chest.
we should talk about this.
I just think
Well,
Christian. Hey,
I
Christian.
just
Yeah.
think.
You-
Okay, yes.
Can I? Yeah. I just.
You have
I
the
just
floor.
think that I deserve a little bit of happiness. I just feel like I've been through a lot. Lidara as well has been through a lot, but like me personally,
You
ripped to
personally
shreds.
in real life.
I
Ripped
really
to
wish that we
shreds.
could. I really, really wish that we could like have that in. Like I wish
Interaction.
that could have been in the podcast so bad. What a moment that was.
It was crazy. It was probably one of the first big moments of our campaign.
I was standing up and screaming and crying and.
Kale is Lidara's ex-boyfriend from the
Boo.
previous guild.
Boo. Wasn't he written into your backstory, Michelle, as like
Yep.
like a good person who like she missed and loved?
Yeah, then Christian just took that and just
All right, well,
crushed it with
Oh,
his
and then
bare
just
hands.
destroyed it
Wait,
with
but-
his bare
okay.
hands.
I still have the
Everyone-
letter. I still have the letter that he wrote.
No.
Like right here, I think.
The letters you wrote me.
I can't believe this.
Ladara singing
Letter.
bird.
I saved every letter.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
God, wait, that makes sense.
Yeah, KO was not good.
Stinky.
Stinky, super bad. I remember.
So I'm just saying that, like, maybe, like, I don't know.
I don't know. Take it back.
Take it back.
Like,
I guess Christian is
happiness.
kind of righting his wrongs by giving you every possible love interest right now.
That's true.
He said
I
choose.
am-
He's like,
can
oh,
choose,
you
they're
want
all
you want
good.
something?
I'm gonna make
I'm gonna
he's
give
like,
you
I'm
too
gonna
many
make so many
options.
good, fuckable, hot, nice characters. Y'all ain't gonna know what to do.
God.
No, literally.
I remember
Literally, love.
when Chaos stabbed Ladara.
Yeah,
Right before that, the line that Christian said that I was like, oh damn, was like, boy, where do your loyalties lie? Or something like that. And then that was right after that, he went, shunk, shunk.
It was tough. It was a tough one. It's the first time that something I had like set up was actually going to take place and happen in our campaign, because everything else had been like, oh, this is stuff I had like planned out for like the adventure you're on now, but this is the first thing that I was like, I'm going to do this. And I had like 12 sessions of like waiting for it to happen, of like, it's coming
That's
up.
crazy. And
It's
then
gonna happen.
that happened because I think Vincent and Azram failed a like perception check on their
Well,
watch.
why were we leaving the perception checks up to Azram? Let's be
Yeah.
real here.
That was a really bad
Vincent
idea.
did
I
that
think that
too.
Ladar should have been. I feel like if Ladar was watching, I
It
feel
would
like
have happened, yeah.
I feel like things would have changed.
It would have
But
been
what do I
different.
know?
Also, fun little fact about this little journey we went on where Christian crushed all of Michelle's dreams was that also joke/day is that Dresden was there.
Dresden was there,
Oh my
yeah.
God, he was.
Dresden was with us.
Dresden was there at the time. Dresden watched
He
all
was
this
traveling
happen.
with us. That was at the point where Dresden was still broody and quiet, and Azram had to spend like every day being like, "Hey, what you writing? Hey, what you writing? Hey,
He's like,
how you feeling?"
He's like,
It was when he was still quiet and wouldn't talk.
Azram, like literally, like imagine Azram just like talking to a wall. That was like every time he
Pretty
interacted with
much.
Dresden.
Yeah.
He'd like come and be like, "Hey," Dresden be like,
Hey
"Do
there,
y'all hear
you missed
something?"
me. He's like,
Also, before the night, so when Chaos stabbed Ladara,
Yeah.
the night when we failed that like perception check was also I was trying to set it up where Vincent would talk to Azaram about his like big fat crush on Renair, and then we got ambushed instead. So
it was tough.
Oh my
It was a
God.
tough night for everyone
so
involved.
bad.
Everyone was having a real bad time.
And then Azram went back and like was the one who broke it to DeVille that they got ambushed. He, the entire time he was just so stressed.
Because we were on that job because DeVille sent us on the job. He was like our boss. at the
Yeah.
moment. He was giving us
Yeah.
jobs.
Wow.
That's wild.
Could you imagine if that like the alternate like world that didn't happen, or like it went a little differently?
I wonder
like-
if Kale would have like had a redemption arc and been like an NPC that
I
we like
think-
have with
Or
us.
like, yeah.
Christian, when you wrote
I don't know.
Kale like later on, do you think that you wrote him with like any wiggle room for a redemption arc or?
Kale, first of all, y'all talking about him like he's dead. He still exists in the
He's still
world.
alive. He is
He's
still alive.
somewhere.
He is
is-
still a possible person that can show up in the
If he
story.
comes into this, I'm telling you, Christian, if he comes into this arc, I'm going to.
He's not
My
gonna be in
mind
this
is
arc.
gonna
That would be
explode.
that would be crazy if he showed up in this
I would be
arc
like-
particularly.
I'd be
But
like, I'm a little overwhelmed, honestly. I'm gonna have to.
Kale,
I'm too overwhelmed.
Kale was always like a complicated character because he had like a lot of respect for Hydrus. He had a lot of respect for the Blood Knights. He had like very high loyalty, and like his whole thing was he's like being
He's a prude.
he's being trained to be like the person who takes over the Blood Knights by the time that you meet him, because at that point, side story, the thing that you didn't hear is that after you left, the Blood Knights really like went downhill really quick. It's like why they're doing the things that they're doing, like working for Manchun and things like that. Like they got caught off guard, they get like beaten into submission. Hydrus and the Blood Knights are falling apart.
As they
Hydrus
should.
is going a little crazy because he had this weird idea of family and loyalty in the Blood Knights that he also like wasn't a good father figure to any of them, if that makes sense. He had like this. He was mostly about loyalty more so than family, I guess. But by the time you meet him, Kale is like ready to take up that mantle, but still has this loyalty to you because he loves you, etc. And then, but at the end of this, he like makes that turn and he like breaks that loyalty, but at the same time, he's not willing to give him up because at the end of the pre-podcast, he joins the Blood Knights again after Hydrus is dead and is like, "I'm gonna lead them now." So Kale is the leader of the Blood Knights right now.
He wanted
He's
Ladar
like the
to
main
join
assassin.
him.
He was like, Ladara can only work with Ladara if she rejoins the Blood Knights and comes with me. Basically, it's what he was gonna. It's you had this whole speech where you cut him off before he could ask you, but like he was going to ask you to rejoin and like to come with him and like travel with him again.
Yeah,
to, like, leave
I
the
think
party and do that.
I feel like she kind of got that. She definitely got that vibe in that conversation because she was definitely like, "I'm gonna stop you right there. I have a feel. She
That's
has a
literally what you
feeling
said. You're like, I'm gonna stop you before you say anything.
because it's a no from me, dog. It really
and
is.
you're right too. But
That
yeah,
would've been-
they're still out there.
Yeah, still there.
Oh.
When someone was talking about punching him in the chat, I would love to see someone punch him in the face. Actually, I think that would be really great.
Well, there is one candidate for that. It's pretty high up right now.
What?
If they were to meet.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
there's like 3 of them at this point.
Honestly, I think we'd all punch
I
him.
think everybody would punch him.
Everyone would punch
I feel
him
like
at this point.
Ladar would just kind of stand there and be like, "Ooh, ooh," and then I'd be like,
Vince
we
like,
had
punch
him-
this guy? No? Okay.
Dresden now unite against a common enemy.
well, especially because Dresden was there, I feel like he'd be like, you're not doing this again. Nope.
Yeah,
Dresden,
true.
Dresden would stab him in the chest again, like as
Yeah. Yeah.
He'd be
He
like,
would pay it back.
Doesn't feel good, huh? You
Ladar like has the scar on her chest still. She's like, yeah.
That was a tough one. That was real bad. But great moment.
Yeah.
Great moment.
Great moment, everyone.
Back to the episode, everyone.
No.
You got hay or something, or beds or blankets?
I have a wagon. I
Oh,
sleep in it sometimes.
I have a
I
wagon.
get through there, which is nice. I
have
don't
a wagon.
really. I'm not afraid of getting jumped in the night by Donegan's boys, but I think wagon could be good. Right.
They didn't like sleep, right? They just immediately went and did everything and like
Yeah. This
Party
was
through the
all-
night?
She says, "Now,
Yeah,
please."
This was all in like one day ish.
Oh. Wait. Can he understand what we're saying?
No. Well,
I have no
vaguely.
idea.
I think vaguely.
Like, he can't know our plans.
He has the intelligence.
Plug
of a
his
turtle
ears.
right now.
Not our plans.
Slug the turtle's
And I
ears.
hold him like
Snipping.
slightly above, like to my eye level, and I
I've
look him in
never-
the eye, and I'm like, just. I like poke his side.
who's
If a
Cheether,
turtle could
Tom?
curse you out
Cheether
right now, it would
chocolate.
be. Angriest, most
Chocolate.
offended looking turtle in the entirety of the world currently.
Ladar like, reaches her hand over and like pokes it in the head.
You cheat them top, you know?
Never
You
changed somebody into something and then asked them what they remember after, so I don't really know what they would remember.
Listen, how long is this supposed to last, this turtle business?
An hour since the castle.
This turtle
I'll be
business.
ready. Let me try and... Alright, I'll try and count that out then, and we'll see once this fella comes back, but I really appreciate it.
You can have him, honestly. I don't need him. Just make sure that he doesn't go back to Doug Digadone Dogatone.
Just out of mild curiosity, what was his bounty?
This one, small fry. Honestly, it's mostly just for status, this one. Anything helps collecting these bounties, but it's mostly just anyone in associate with Denton, pretty much. So,
Alright.
if I get Denton, then I can leave this place, go on, get a new bounty, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty set for a little bit. But right now, I'm gonna need this guy to get
All of this
me there.
cover story to pretend like she doesn't.
Take the
She's
turtle,
not on like a
take your
deeper mission to
wagon.
get her own brother.
Take a rest.
Deal.
Don't run off with my wagon. I'll be able to track that. Don't worry about it.
Well,
Otherwise,
you gave me the idea just now.
good luck with your business. Perhaps we will meet again.
Yeah.
They never met again.
This is where I didn't
but
know
I assume
exactly
that you
where
were just
the.
sleeping there, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
I'll just go back and get it. You don't have to send me off. Leave a nice review of the whole place.
Well, I'll see you later.
She tips her hat and turns.
if anybody asks you about an air genasi,
Lips are sealed.
I like her.
I like her.
Lips
too.
are sealed.
Me too.
Stomps off down the
Me
thoroughfare
too.
Like her.
as the dust collects. She yells back, "Welcome to Goldstead."
Wow. Wow. What a line.
Hey, it's Christian again.
It's
This is the place that I told you
Christian.
about at the beginning.
Christian.
The only
Let's
time when
call
my
that,
mic is
except
better
not,
than
because I
my
told
mic
you
quality
about
is the
what I
better
was
than the
gonna
one that
do
I'm using
at the beginning.
is during this era of
we wanted to
SOFPOD.
talk about how you can get your name as
Do we want to
NPC on
skip past
show.
the
Well,
break?
you're taking inspiration
Yeah, that's
from the
fine.
Adventure Zone for this because we think it's a really
Adventure
cool way
Zone, no
to
way.
get the community
Christian,
involved
when's my
and
name
also
gonna be in
spread
the
word about
podcast?
show.
I tweet about with hashtag SOFPOD all the
Doctor
time.
Garb, Lynn
It
dresses.
is like if I ever said
get
one of
the
your names
community
in the
involved and also
session, it would take you out so quickly. I was like, and the this member of the Merriman's like, I'm Michaela. It would be like the most like immediate like out of podcast moment.
Could you imagine just like a big bad guy who's like the destroyer of worlds and their name is just Chris? It's like white man
Finally
name.
discovered my real name.
Just do it as one of like my Twitter
show.
display names.
Basically, if you get on your
So
Twitter
then it would be like Megumi's mom is part of the Merriman.
My child, Megumi. Please, you must save him.
Mine would be like Mush. Can you do like a character named Mush? Maybe like a
like a goblin.
yeah.
Hey, it's me. And you
My name's
tweet
Mush.
about the show using the hashtag
My name's
SOFPOD,
Mush.
SOFPOD. I go through
Sign
that
it, seal it.
hashtag nearly every day. And
I'm named
looking
after
through
my
it to
favorite
see
food.
People who are tweeting about the show.
Mush.
A lot of people who are just
Mush.
what you really want.
I can't find
Otherwise,
the
that's the only announcement I have.
I need.
Oh, I
I think
think
that's
this
what we're
might be it.
missing. I think
Okay.
we're missing a little
But for right
goblin,
now, I just want to say
a
a little goblin
fella.
NPC to travel with
Back to
you
the show.
all. Oh, the
Damn,
Tony
we didn't
Tony
have no
Chopper.
We didn't have no
You'll make
sponsors
your
in
way
the break.
down the main thoroughfare.
Yeah, nothing.
Now,
We were just saying thanks.
people walking out of small ramshackle homes, looking to see what's going on.
Poison
in
Soup
very,
Man.
Practical.
Oh my
plainclothes
God.
Of you know,
Podcast
Wow.
Poison Soup Man.
dresses,
My favorite
Ancient
clip.
lore.
shirts, suspenders.
Are you sure you
on
don't
roofs,
want to try any of this soup?
walking through,
Not
you
this.
get a lot of people.
No.
Infiltrating.
I think you should try it.
It's not fully like
Okay, I
human or
poisoned
elven
it,
here or
please.
anything. It's a mix of
I think that you should eat it.
You can see like a few goblins, some
was funny.
orcs. You see a homestead that's like a halfling and like what looks to be almost like
Cat
some
folk?
sort of cat folk. I
knew
I said it exactly the
Something I
same.
You know
remember.
yourself
Because I'm
so
like-
well.
Because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why did I include
That
cat
is
folk
marked
in
with
gold
a small
instead?
painted
And I'm like,
sign
I don't really
that
know
just says
why.
Doc Berry's, Berry. This very, very humble.
Oh, Doc
building is
Berry,
only,
holy
like,
shit.
one
Doc
story with a
Berry.
The
dusty
first gilf. in the
window that
podcast.
looks into, like,
Doc
a
Berry, by the way,
semi-professional
traveled from Weldon,
opening,
Yeah.
but you can knock, push the key in the
because
door.
this is other stuff that never really came up, and thus it's like half canon. But like, basically, people in Weldon, and you guys just never asked about this, but like, Thorne family and Walsh family were like, they were getting these like weird, like afflictions, like you know, like these weird things where like their skin, they would be like very pale, and they would be like it's not everyone, but like it was a side tangent that you never went down, and that affliction was because the bleed was starting to come through from and they were like feeling the effects of it, and they basically had this thing that was like foreshadowing the bleed. But we went down the other route that you went to get information, which was all about like Azrim's family and everything. But like the other side of Weldon that was happening at the same time was like the wealthy people there were experiencing this like weird affliction having to do with the bleed. Doc Berry was in Weldon to like investigate what that was, because they had heard that there was a doctor that could help with that, and Dr. Barry was like, I have an idea of what this is, but like I'm gonna need more time to research it. Loses all his tools and is like, well, I guess that's not really anything I can do about it until someone gets my tools back. And Doc Barry was like getting kind of ready to head back over there. I think he may mention it a little bit in later on in the podcast that like he was in Weldon for reasons, but he was basically just like making house calls there because people were getting affected by the bleed. In very small ways, but it was weird ways that other doctors couldn't diagnose.
Damn.
Anyways, continue. He's fine. Doc Barry's fine.
Thank
Doc
God.
Barry's doing great.
Sunlight trails in with like
I
little
love him.
dust particles floating in, and you hear, 1 second, I'll be out in a second. I'll be right with you. As a voice from the back room opens up loudly. What are you three doing in this kind of waiting room area of this?
This waiting room was a hot mess.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's
Oh
like
my
a
God.
couple wooden chairs that are down in like this main kind of entrance. There's like a hole in the wall where it looks like you would have to like sign in or something like that, like just for formality's sake.
Take a number.
Take a number.
I'd probably like go up to that, go to sign in, I guess.
You look over and there's like a small, just like a sheet of paper and like a quill that's there. There's literally like one name on it, and it's already crossed through, but you're able to write your name down. But as soon as you're finishing up from this back room, which looks just to be like there's like a little bit of a divider, from coming around that divider, there looks to be like a lanky, very tall but very skinny orcish man with very formal clothing, like a vest and tie sort of thing, old 1800s doctor garb, basically, circular glasses and black hair that's also kind of slicked backwards, and
I don't know why I always pictured him with like a ponytail,
fairly attractive.
like a low
to make those
ponytail.
rolls. He looks and he says,
You're right, I did too.
I think someone
Did you say
drew
it?
art of him like that.
Barry was
Howdy.
fine.
I'm Doc Barry. I'm just
Just
finishing
there.
up with a patient right now, and then
I did not
I'll
expect
get
the
right
collective
He smiles
session with Doc
and
Barry for
nods
in the
head
first
and
couple of
turns
episodes.
Back around.
You
head
can't
fine.
give
really
us an
liked him more than I
attractive
thought.
NPC and then expect
Yeah.
people
I
to
have
not.
to-
I don't
have
even
to
know if I
instigate
like
it
said
now.
he
That's
was
the way
like.
that I
Oh, I
get
did
above
just
curve.
here.
Just now,
That's
yeah.
happening.
But you three
Just now.
will have to wait for a little bit.
I'll sit down.
Can I like look and see what the name was? Like on the
The
sheet?
veneer moment
What
isn't in
name
this
it was
episode,
on?
but it is in the waiting room. It's in like
it looks to
episode
be
3 or
like
4.
someone named Eliza Smith is all.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
What you get the sense that if he's seeing a patient, it's probably her.
It's probably the person who's on the list.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I'm gonna
Okay,
look
well,
around.
wait patiently.
Look
I'll
at any
sit
like
down.
art.
The walls of this place are fairly bare, except for like a little bits of like displayed empty bottles that are of interesting shapes and sizes on shelves. There is like a nice small portrait of what looks to be like a painting of the plains. But other than that, there's not a ton of note. This place is very small town in terms of decor.
Kind of bare.
Azra like sits back and leans back in the chair and stretches and is just like, oh,
Oh my god.
How you doing?
such a long day.
Mm-hmm.
Such a long
Mhm.
day.
You gonna
Mhm.
talk about
Such a long day.
No, never mind. No,
Imagine
I
all the
just-
long days you're
no,
gonna.
I thought-
Yeah, you said such a long day.
I got
Imagine
longer.
the long day you just
You
experienced.
Oh my god.
You guys don't know what you've been. You don't know what you got coming.
Your
You don't
12
know what a
session
long day is.
He's got a long day coming up, too.
Yeah.
You got a long day coming up.
Do we actually have to like go easy on Nazrin because of his,
You know, I don't
makes
know.
a motion to his belly.
But I was like,
Oh my god.
I think he's like right there. I think he can hear you.
Like right
It's like
My
right
favorite
there.
Ladara line.
That's a great line. I'm
We're
so
just
proud of that.
discussing- It's something
You know?
private, not related to you.
Who brought the couple along?
Oh my god.
Oh man, the tension in this party.
Spit it out, Renair.
Vince has just got his head in his head
Ooh.
in his hands.
Oh my
He's
god.
like, all right, you can stop. I'll stop talking about you.
We want to talk about the elephant in the room. We talk about talk about the fact that we have.
If you don't want me to be here, then I won't. I'll just wait outside.
Okay, let's all calm down.
I just
please.
don't understand why we're
Azram is
pointing out
pregnant.
other.
Okay,
I'm not.
Okay,
Pregnant is a strong term.
Oh man. Oh man.
man.
We can all understand. Okay, but Azram.
He's right, it is a strong term.
Okay, because I'm really not here for all this drama. I'm really over it.
Oh my god, Ladara, that reaction is so funny.
Fuck, you guys are fine.
It's like an alternate dimension.
It's literally,
I'm,
I'm
like,
so
not
used to
here
the
for it.
Ladara
2
accent now.
seconds. Renair, what?
Rare
What?
what?
Renee, what?
And I, of course, Vincent and I's, Bishop, we would never will look to make you uncomfortable. Just to get that out of the way. But
You're so strong.
you're so strong. I could never. I can't even imagine what you must be going through.
Of course, you can't fucking imagine, Renair. You're not pregnant.
Oh my
Pregnant is not
god.
the right term.
There we
What's
go.
going on?
This is not the right term.
A parasite. It's different than
A very, very.
Vincent, the only one speaking any sort of logic.
The door kind of opens to this loud conversation as the doctor's kind of wide-eyed. There's an old woman that is kind of like, she's wearing like the down to the ankles dress, and she's just kind of like looking at all of you, and she looks
You bring this
towards
old
she
woman
looks
back.
towards like just scans over each of you.
Have her
and
check
then
up on
says,
Azram.
Could you imagine if
"Well,
the same woman
I
was like
think
in
that the
every
checkup went fine.
city?
Just
She's in every
come
town.
on back,
Just
get
by
some more
accident.
tonic, and then we
So
will
funny. We just
see to
zoom
it."
in and she's in the
then
background of
she
every
starts walking
event. She's
out,
at the
and then
ball.
She like here. She's at the ball.
She's at the ball. She's at Geronimo Johnson's meeting.
I just. Azram starts having a meltdown.
Have a great day, Eliza.
Oh,
quick question.
that's my whole name. She walks out of this town.
Eliza.
Looks and says, "So what's this about a parasite?"
I say
Right.
every letter.
First of all, quick question. How does confidentiality extend to other patients who might have heard? Oh, you know.
Let's go
I
in the
can
Ladara
do
playlist.
About as much as I can to keep
And
things
then, yeah.
confidential. But
I heard it and
this
I was
is-
like, did I
there's some
foreshadow?
thin
And I was
walls
like,
going
no,
on
not
around
really.
here.
Oh my god.
It's okay,
Everyone
Azram.
knows.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's
So we
fine,
have a situation.
Unfortunate.
Come on back to my.
Yeah,
Let's
come on.
everyone come on. It's a smaller room, but I have some seats if y'all like to
I can stand. It's fine.
fill me. Sure.
I have some
He
chairs.
leads you
I can
through
I can stand.
to-
Don't need furniture.
Like-
a leather chair that's much like
I sleep in a
elevated
coffin.
bit.
No, Ozzy's just always like
Towards
that.
the
He's just a little
floor,
bitch.
Chairs off to the side, and there's much more in here. There's a couple more like degrees and paper certificates on the wall that hang. The bottles that are strange are not empty here. They're filled with various liquids and different colored things, just components. Like you see what looks to be just like a couple full leaves floating in a couple, and then another one, a dried lizard's tail just kind of bobbing around. He says, "Listen, take a seat right here. Let me get some gloves. Yeah, gloves. Now we good." He gets situated as you all sit down. Nair
Just
looks
some
and
liquids.
says, "So how are we explaining this? That we never really. We tried not to talk about it when we're traveling. That was the rule: is don't bring up the little bundle of
Don't
joy.
say it.
But
Renair.
The oven, huh, Renair?
Azram's about to punch her near.
Story to tell, I guess, right?
I think
Oh my
we will
God.
let Azram tell that
Oh,
story.
butt in the oven.
Ladara's gonna kind of just not sit. She's gonna stand by the
Poor
door.
Renair.
Like,
God.
no, just in case.
He doesn't
anything
know what to say.
funky. She's just gonna stand and make sure everything's fine. You never know who can fucking hear or burst in. I don't trust anybody here. It's a weird
Ladara like guard dog.
guns.
Too many of them.
Guns. The doctor comes back around from a back room with some gloves on, and he says, "So, who's the lucky person?"
It's not me. If you're looking at me, I know.
Uh,
So,
I think we got
Um,
15
our little
15
friend
minutes
here.
left.
15 minutes.
So, I mean,
It's not a baby. It's a parasite. Can we not keep talking about it like it's some Bundle of joy. I hate that.
What if Azram wanted to
I
raise the
think your
parasite?
boyfriend was the one that called
Me,
that joy.
that was Vincent,
Every
but
time I
also
talk
me
like
being
this,
like,
we're gonna come back to that.
we can
so-
stop.
Please, both of you. I really
That's
will
nothing
hit
to be
both of
ashamed
you.
of. Well, listen. I'm saying
It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Azram's free to tell. I'll let you tell it. I thought it was just colloquial. I was having fun. I'm very sorry if the bundle of joy thing made you uncomfortable.
He's touchy. He's
It's fine.
anxious. So
Sure.
Azram, please
When?
explain to Doctor what's going on.
Yes,
Well,
please.
doctor, if you haven't figured it out from my fucking loud ass friends over here, I have a thing growing inside of me. I don't know if it's a
We're so
parasite.
off-hinged.
I know. I was like, this episode is way more unhinged than I remember it being. I feel like
I feel like we're
wasn't
so like.
Baby's not
that long
I don't
ago.
know.
in this situation.
No.
This does not seem like,
Garrick was like,
full cycle of birth.
Oh
and
my
all
god,
that
yeah, Garrick was there.
business.
Kind
And-
of.
And I'll
In
be
spirit.
the first to admit that I am
Laughing
not a
his ass
doctor
off.
that was trained at first to deliver babies. I've delivered a number of them in this town just because
It's not a
I'm the only
baby.
doctor.
It's not even in
able
his
to do
stomach.
that.
It's just through it in his like
But this isn't a baby,
bloodstream.
so we're gonna approach this from clean slate. Strictly no baby zone.
baby
No
zone.
baby
No baby
language.
zone.
that's gonna be
strictly
used here.
no baby
None of
zone.
those terms.
For the
No
rest of the
baby zone.
podcast,
How
babies
did you
allowed.
Get not impregnated, but
Oh my god.
infected.
Just relentless.
Well, you see, as I was saving an entire city, I was fighting against this. What would you guys describe it as? Like a lizard,
I think it might have been
dragon.
called like a slade or something.
it looks like a hunter from Resident Evil. Anyways,
I don't know,
behind the
not
scenes
much,
and how I
but
imagined it.
It was some sort of creature.
Ugly ass thing.
Yeah, it's bad.
Ugly ass thing.
You've had an encounter with
It's actually
a
really
being
scary.
called Slade. That is an
I'm pretty sure-
extraplanar being, like a being that is not from this.
That sounds about
Realm.
right.
Like,
I think that like all of us.
Slade.
There was
In
one
the astral plane.
Yeah, well,
slice that it had
But
against.
like there.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
you know.
it
Certainly
it
is a
was me.
Slade. K2.
Oh, I see. You're not. I mean, I could have guessed that you weren't regular patients. You.
Vincent almost
How
had
did you hear
the
about
parasite
this
situation.
here?
I would have cried.
Yeah.
I would have been like, Christian, take it back. I don't want it.
Back home.
In high places.
Yeah.
It's been a bit since
A
I've
creature that I
delved
learned about when I
into
first started playing D&D, and I was
studies
like, I'm
having
gonna
to do
use
with
this.
Outer Realms. You are familiar, I suppose. Your friend, they wouldn't happen to be from Saniath, right?
She would.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
Magus Academy.
That's
That
the one.
sounds right. Yeah.
You're looking at the former school nurse.
Oh.
I used to deal with all that stuff, and some of the researchers that deal in the extraplanar stuff, they would come and
The Mages Academy
we
had a hot nurse.
situations regarding
Yes.
that sort of thing. I had to get away from all that big city living though. Get out somewhere a little less
He was friends with Vajra.
extraterrestrial.
Were they
You
friends?
left there for.
Friend of Vajra? Yeah, Vajra recommended him.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Let's
my
love it.
god.
Also
You can breathe, you know.
knew another
Yeah,
character that was
fresh
recently
dirt
introduced.
Get used to the dirt air. It actually, wide open
Christian.
spaces. You have people that come in with bullet wounds and bites from.
I think he was
wolves
the
and stuff
nurse
like
when
that,
Vajra
and
was still
not
studying there.
extra dimensional
He's, like,
eggs
pretty old.
implanted into their body by a reptilian creature from beyond our world.
We're just unique.
Is there anything wrong with that? Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't ask for this.
Okay.
Well,
No one's
I
no
just-
one's
that's the question.
shaming.
Can you remove it or not?
That's the question.
I haven't in a while, but I believe that if you're looking for someone to remove it, and the resources of the Magus Academy sent you here, I may be the only one who can.
So the confident answer is yes.
The confident answer is
Absolutely
The
you can.
confident-
the confident
answer.
answer is yes.
There we go.
Uh-huh.
The more truthful answer is yes, but with my current situation, not right now.
What do you mean?
Not right now. How much longer?
No, that's not. You see, the tools that I would use to retrieve this parasite from within you currently are not in my possession, and that is a more recent affair that has taken place.
Did someone like steal from you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool.
I was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
straight
okay,
up.
cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
get the
you
gist
don't
of
have
it.
to go. I mean, I would go to the sheriff, but they done burnt that place down real quick. Yeah.
Real quick.
You've been in town for a little bit. You're familiar with the good old boys and girls
Don't
of the
say
day.
it. We
Oh,
met
something
him
tells
outside.
Something tells me that you've had an encounter with them already.
These
Well,
Doug Digga-Dumb motherfuckers will not get the fuck out of my way. Everything I do since I stepped foot in this dirty ass town has
Jesus
had to do
Christ.
with this.
He doesn't mean it dirty. I mean,
It's
it
nothing
has
against
to
you.
be.
This
Town.
place
There's a lot
is
of
lovely.
dirt. There's a lot of dirt.
There's a lot of dirt.
Ladara trying to
Definitely met
over-explain to ease the
Mostly dirt.
them.
situation.
Not so
It's just
pleasant.
dirt. Yeah, he's just,
Especially
A
this
lot of
one.
dirt.
They do know our
A lot of dirt, yeah, that's why it's like dirty,
Try and find
track us
us
down,
and like
kill
kill
us.
us. But it's nothing out of the ordinary for us at this point.
Yeah,
We can probably take him if we like try really hard.
maybe not all of us.
We like
Oh my god.
Ladara without the accent. It's like a whole different
so
bitch.
so strange to me.
Yes.
So we kind of have to go.
But when we record it,
Shout out, huh?
I'll give her the accent.
yes, and I don't think
We
you need
Obviously.
to ride out to the Plainswood, storm the fort to get these back. It was fairly recent. It was mostly just a toll that I couldn't pay.
Yeah, Ladara has a
and,
twin too. It's this
had to
person.
pay and
Oh my
stuff
God,
that
no,
I
we
hadn't
should use
used
that.
in a while and didn't expect to have
Ladara
to
got
use.
swapped in episode 6 when Michelle decided to start using her accent.
Christian, use
So
that.
they took
Use
Christian, write that down. They'll never
Should
see
be
it
writing this shit
coming.
down.
God.
They'll never see the
There
twist
is what you're
coming.
gonna need.
Everyone, just act
If
surprised.
Oh my god.
Surprised.
I was on the road coming from Weldon, so it's a little bit past the
Weldon
plains.
drop,
There's a
baby.
bit of overlook. It's called Hannigan's
There
Bluff.
it is.
Around
Weldon.
there is where they were
Hannigan's
set up
Bluff. Great
camp.
name.
They
I see every day.
mostly, this was way earlier. I mean, honestly, it's kind of, if you had come another day earlier this week, I mean, we could have been in and out done, that sort of business. But,
Nice.
real unfortunate. Listen, I don't think they would have brought those back just yet. They might still be camped out there. You might be able to get what you're looking for from them.
How far out is that?
That's not too far from the outside of town. I'd say it's
Not too
about,
far at all.
If you're at a good pace, 2-hour walk.
All right,
Okay.
not bad. Not 2 weeks.
Just be careful when you're crossing plains. It's not them I'm very worried about, and in fact, my suspicions are they're still out there because they're afraid to cross those plains right now.
What for?
This whole fucking thing, this
Something been
boulette.
rustling
that's
cattle
out
up
in the
real
plains.
bad. I mean, leaving behind these massive tunnels and the
Not the
cows that they
fucking
leave behind.
tunnels.
I mean, I have never seen meat
Also,
torn up like that.
An extra
I don't know
dimensional
what it
creature.
is, and
Creature
we-
that's not
we ain't
supposed to
never
be
had
on
those
this
problems
plane.
before, but
That's what I
We
figured
are,
because of Azrim's whole.
Yeah, the contract.
Something
Yeah.
before that burrowed
It's a
into the
bleed
ground
creature.
Wow.
Yeah.
a long time ago
Yeah,
on the road.
that we did. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, we were going north. We were taking the long road up to
before we were
to Red
attacked.
Lodge or something along those lines. Or
Red
Yeah, all
Lodge.
mentioned.
Oh no, also destroyed it.
Something like that.
Right.
It was like a big bug thing.
Everyone
Oh,
called
that's-
it a worm. It looks like a.
Is it
I
that?
don't even know.
Do we have to see that?
I don't want to see
I
how
mean,
it gets.
I just
Think that
remembered
It's like
the
a
Alaskan
snapping
full.
turtle.
Could be other things. I don't know.
I kept
Snapping
calling it a
turtle.
bug. That's what it was.
Okay. So.
It,
So we just
yeah, it
won't
was a
go
turtle. I got
past-
confused.
The camp.
It's like a snapping
So we go
turtle
to the
thing.
camp.
But everyone
We
was
go to
like,
the
the
camp.
worm.
We get
I was like, I guess it's a worm.
Sorry,
Which
but
is good if
You're
you're
like,
riding
"Here, I made
fast,
this really
because
cool
then
creature."
if something
It's really
awesome
I
and
haven't
cool.
seen it. I've only
I didn't make it.
heard
I
the
added some
rumblings,
extra stuff to
I
it,
was
but
on
I was
wagon,
like-
so I was good to.
I was
to
like,
get back into
I
town.
guess it's
Not
worm-esque.
really this is not really looking forward
Sorry.
to heading back to Weldon.
But other
It's
than
just a
that,
worm on a string.
Just a worm on a string.
So you have a wagon we can use?
Attacking you. That's what it is in
I
the
mean,
old movie
I'm not
set.
really looking
Yeah.
to loan out my wagon to a bunch of people I just met unless I can
Oh,
get
I just
some.
remembered how this
We know
episode ends.
Vajra, so
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
trustworthy.
I remember how it is.
I
What?
have
I don't.
not been back to Siniath in quite a bit. Is that someone from the academy?
Oh god.
Is that?
Okay. Well,
Do you mean
Sapphire.
real smart?
Yes.
yes.
She was a student at the academy when I was working
Oh,
there.
cute. How old are you? No.
Gotta look
Wow,
at
so
Dara,
long.
damn.
Actually,
How old are
surprisingly,
you?
Jesus.
I can tell you that there's like some
She
weathered
has more
lines
manners now.
here and there. Yeah, there's some weathered lines here and there, but like in reality,
You
it
just-
looks fairly young.
More like 30.
That's real flattering.
Oh,
That's real flattering of you, but flattery, you know.
Well,
I
if you
wasn't. I
don't
mean, I
have
wasn't
Sapphire.
trying to flatter you, but I was. Just
Oh,
curious.
Wow!
Jeez.
Holy shit! You're out for blood!
I'm just curious.
Wasn't trying to flatter you.
Well,
Jeez.
God damn! Brutal.
You bitch. Spits on his shoes.
Age is just a number.
Ladar, what?
Well,
Number.
listen.
Who said age
we're
was
just a
going
number?
to go get my bag.
It was Ladara, I think.
No,
It was Ladara.
Vajra's the one that sent you. I don't know what she's up to these days,
Well,
but I
it's
mean,
the
I'm glad she
black staff.
remembers old Doc Barry.
Kind of a lot of things.
She's the black staff.
She's kind of important now.
Oh shoot! Dang, good for her.
It's pretty important.
Ladara softened up over the year, over the
Over the
The
months.
years.
Well, the 1
I was gonna
year.
say
The
years
years in
over
game
the-
or real life.
Well,
The
months.
year.
On summer-ish.
Don't get my
It's
horses
like May
killed,
or
don't get my
so,
wagon
or
destroyed.
something.
Nice. Well, we will certainly try our best.
All right, man.
This happens in like March because the ball happens on like
I don't
March
understand why
21st.
you would whisper that right in this very small room. I
Don't worry
can
about
hear nearly every
You
word.
guys are all horrible
Don't
at
worry.
whispering to each other, just so we're aware.
I thought we were pretty good.
Anyway,
Renair.
Renair, you're on thin ice.
You're on the thinnest ice
Do
possible.
not do that. We may have had some instances in the past, but that was out of our will.
Out of our
right?
control.
Out of our
It was
control
out of our
completely.
control. Completely attacked out of our control. But this is in our control now. So we will be
Yeah.
fine.
You
I
tell
have
him.
stolen.
You
first
got
of
it.
all, I have acquired things from people by force before. So
Good cover up.
Classic.
Well, this
She's like, I have
each word is
stolen for the good.
Listen,
Make
Not
this way.
stolen.
details. Can I help? I don't know.
Can I help?
No. Not on this one. Not after that. Not stolen. Taken by force. Robbed, if you will.
only for rich.
for the greater good of the people. I'm not like trying to like.
So funny.
No.
Taking things by force.
Fine.
Woo!
Azram's like,
Wow.
I'm sorry, I think I'm having morning sickness.
Oh my god.
Around 2 p.m.
Jesus
At this
Christ.
point,
It's around 2 p.m.
that is not medically what that. Well, you know.
That is not
okay.
We've got a little off track.
We're
we'll
off
take your
topic.
wagon, we'll take your horses, and we won't get them killed. And it's all. You don't have to sweat the details of whatever we do. It'll be fine. Just, 2 days?
It's like, don't worry, we got it.
Leather bag. It's a nice leather bag around
Brown,
you know,
black, gray.
sizable, a brown leather, brown leather. It's got my name embroidered on the inside. It's just
Very.
Doc Barry is what I go by. Just Doc Barry.
Does he have a first name?
If something happens
Doc.
to the wagon, the horses, I would simply just need
Doc.
some compensation. Otherwise, I know this is a matter of life and death, and thus this is why I believe that this is the best choice, and I am rationalizing it. Yep, yep.
If anything happens to your wagon and to your horses,
We will try our best to pay
Compensation, or like hypothetically, like how much would that be? Like,
It's not easy to come around horses in this area, and also a wagon. The whole thing, I'm looking at like 25 gold.
oh,
for it. We can.
Oh.
yeah, we got it.
Well,
Easy.
Yeah, we're fine. We'll
Yeah,
be
easy
fine.
peasy.
Oh my
But it's not gonna happen,
Yeah,
though.
no,
We're so
no,
rich.
no.
I do like my
Not.
horses.
Yeah,
They are. I have had them for
the
a long
wonderful
time.
creatures, of
Do
course.
they have
yes, of
names?
course.
Well, yeah.
God.
Jill and
Oh my god.
not Jack.
Jesus.
Not Jack.
Jill and John, the names that they definitely had up until this moment.
John.
Who names a horse John?
I like to be very personal.
I think
with my
Doc's
names,
first name is
and I
Jack.
like to
That's
treat
why the
them
horse's name was
as-
Jack.
Oh my
Jack
god.
Berry.
I would not like
Jack
if I was
Berry?
Jack
Berry's
like
kind of a
any
good
other
name.
Jack
but-
Berry.
Yeah, it is. Good
Kinda
job,
hot.
Michaela.
John is nice and
John-
professional.
It makes sense.
It's too hard boiled for him.
No,
That's why
that's
he
not
hides
my
his
name.
dog.
All right, let's just go along with the
Berry.
horses. Take care of Jill and John, please.
All right, we'll be back to you.
Jill
and give us,
and
if we don't come knocking in about 3 days, just send out a search party. We'll be fine though.
Jack Berry.
Mary Berry.
No law to do that.
All
but
right.
I
Berry
will,
Berry.
Tell Bonnie, I don't
Tell
know.
that tiefling
Yeah, Bonnie.
person.
Sure.
She's staying. You can't miss her.
Sounds fine.
Yeah, she knows our faces.
I don't. We're gonna go now.
We're gonna head out.
Thank
Very
you
creepy.
so much for your time, sir.
And your hospitality.
Renee, you're on the thinnest ice possible.
You
didn't even say
Opened his
anything.
mouth.
I know what I say to most
You're
people.
doing fine. You're doing fine.
And your hospitality.
We're just gonna see ourselves out. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's
So
squad
funny. He says
out.
one thing.
Squad out.
Hurry.
Be
You're
careful
thin ice,
about
Renee. I'll kill
bees.
you.
I'll
Yeah,
kill
yeah,
you
yeah.
right now.
Don't die.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Please don't let my horses
Head out.
die.
Make your way around. Where you see a wagon with two beautiful horses, one of like a brown coat and the other with a black coat. And
So which
ready
one
to
of these?
mount up.
I guess we have 2 wagons for the night then.
Which one is Joe? Which one is John?
Should we check?
Huh?
Azram looks under the horses.
Can we just ask them?
Kim
Can you
asked
just ask them? Now Ladara could.
This one definitely has a.
All right.
You peek
I
under.
think this one's John.
Why would John? No. All right. We're not gonna
know.
spend too long on this
Doesn't
particular.
matter that much.
I agree.
Jill and John, whichever ones you are, thank you. Wagon
Just
time,
a nice
right?
little pet.
Wagon time.
You all mount up onto
Can
the
I get wagon time on a shirt?
Wagon
There.
time.
Wagon time.
Okay, which one of us knows how to drive this?
Oh.
That's where we'll take our break.
Nice job, everyone.
Wow.
Wow.
And we used
Great
to say that's where we'll take our break, but that was actually just the first
But
the
that was
end
just
of
the
the
end of the
episode.
first episode, yeah, because we used to record 2 episodes in one session.
Damn.
Wow, games. Wow.
Wow.
Great job, everyone.
Wow. Did it.
Wow. We
Round
did
of
it. We made it.
applause.
That's so great.
What'd you guys think? What'd you get with party?
What'd you guys think of our new podcast?
Thanks for joining us for our first ever
Episode.
episode.
You know.
The memories.
If,
Do we
if
wanna?
you guys
Do we
had,
wanna? Oh, continue.
I was just gonna ask the party if you guys had listened
Yeah.
to that. Would you kept listening to the podcast?
I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I'd
probably.
Be like, hey, Wild West stuff, pretty cool. That's how it sounds like me. Great. Do we want to put on like the intro to Lunastra theme?
Yeah.
The little,
I
the
can
little
try, yeah.
description of Lunastra.
Um,
We can take a quick break. Everyone go to the bathroom, etc. Things like that.
yeah. I think, well, actually, quick question. Who in the chat, is there anybody who hasn't, like, listened to an episode of The Strings of Fate before? Like, at all? And this is, like,
Any
your
new
first...
gamers?
Any
here?
new gamers?
New
Had,
gamers.
like 3 people join in the last few minutes.
Yeah.
I want you to cry, cry for me.
I'm just
Okay.
curious
It
to see
wouldn't
if there's
end
anybody who's, like, this is
New.
my first time.
The 10-minute follower rule. Yeah, but they would have,
For
you should have
anybody
followed
who-
by now.
Anybody who's,
You
who's,
haven't
like, just in
followed
the
after all
stream.
that good stuff.
I don't think the Lunastra intro has any spoilers that we haven't already spoiled in the stream so far.
I mean, yeah, and we also we made it so that like anyone can listen to that first episode. So
Yeah. So, yeah, if there's anybody who is in the chat who's like, yeah, I'm, like, trying to catch up. I'm on, like, the Weldon arc or whatever. Just in case there's anybody in the crowd tonight out there who's like, I just really want to get through it because I want to, like, listen to the live chat or whatever. We tried to design episode 33, which is the intro to the new arc, as, like, an intro to the series. So, like, if you wanted to, you could do, like, start at episode 33, get caught up, and if you're like, I want to know what's going on, I want
How
more
we got here.
context. Yeah, more context. You can go back.
Hey, welcome.
Oh,
I think the good thing is we won't listen to the whole Lunastra episode, but the intro is really cool.
mm-hmm.
Just like the description
It's
and
like
everything.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait.
All right, sure. I'll try to pull it up. Everybody, I'm going to put us on a little be right back screen, and we'll be back.
We're not-
BRB.
We're not going to do a whole nother episode. I'm
No,
just
yeah.
Yeah, no,
somebody asked that in the
no.
chat. Not a whole
gonna
nother
do a whole
episode.
nother
Two-
episode.
It's been about 2 hours that we've been streaming.
Yeah,
So
well,
thank you
thanks.
guys for staying with us for this long. I'm really
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
yeah. Thanks
But
for
maybe
joining
we'll listen
us.
to the first
Yes.
10 minutes or so of Lunastra.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll pull that up, and we'll be back in like 5 minutes. Okay. Stay tuned, guys.
time.
We'll see you soon.
BRB.
See you in just a bit.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Howdy, gamers.
And
We're
now
back.
it all fits together so
And now
nicely.
it's all together.
If you've noticed, I've taken the stream background. Well, I've taken the episode background and made it into the stream background. So
It looks like the strings like connect. It's very cool.
that is wild. We're gonna since we're all here and we've all just listened to the very, very first episode where we didn't really know what we were doing. Everything was a little bit of a mess. We figured we would celebrate with a look how far we've come. And we would play from episode 33, which is a way more recent episode. And honestly, I'm really excited to hear the difference. This is crazy. The difference is just wild. So.
I heard like a little bit and I'm like, oh.
Whoa. All right. Time to listen to how far we have come.
As you pull closer and closer to where people seem to be parking their wagons and setting up in this massive area, where there seems to be people who stable the horses and get everything done, you get that business settled, you see first hints of a city, or I should say, you hear the first hints of a city. The first thing you hear are the sounds of civilization. People and wagons all moving in unison, making their way in this controlled chaos of city life. Something you haven't heard since, honestly, Siniath. Weldon was a major town. It was big, but it was nothing like Siniath. Nothing like the varied amounts of people and experiences all packed into this one place. You realize as you go on foot from the place where you park your wagon that you are approaching this city. Instead of looking forward, you need to look down.
Oh my goodness.
Like, are you kidding? Like, are you kidding
audio
me?
Gasps
is-
of the people
Oh my
around you
god.
as they cross a certain threshold.
The music.
Finally, you can see
It's a podcast.
just what they're looking at.
The story.
Past the
I'm there.
edge where the land seems to drop off. The city is not built on flat ground. It's built below to what looks to be a crater. A massive city bathed in the multicolored hues of fractured light filtered through stained glass. A central temple that stretches towards the sky, the first thing that you can see. The city itself is ringed and springing to life in a sloping bowl shape. A slope that wraps around the city, all centering eventually at that temple. And the city itself is divided into 4 quarters, 2 of them further subdivided, which is visible even from here as the glow from the center divides the city by the color of the light. Very pastel colors that radiate outward, embracing the buildings of the different districts, and on the pale stonework, it's as if each building has been hand-painted. From the edges of the crater, you stand able to look over her glory in its entirety. A city tightly packed that rivals the beauty and scope of even the crown of Western Afra and the sovereignty. The moonlit city of Lunastra.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
Oh, are you kidding me?
This is so
This is
different.
So good. Sometimes I listen to our podcast and I literally am like, damn, this is so good. Oh my god.
God, why am I emotional?
I'm gonna start crying.
Fuck.
Oh, it's so dumb. I'm so emotional.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow.
Round of applause. Wow. So if you want to
like-
join us at episode 33, that's what it's going to sound like. I promise.
Besides,
the audio
like,
gets
when I'm-
better.
When I'm editing, I feel like it's the only when I'm editing is like really when I'm like watching the episode live is like the only time I really rewatch them because I have a bias against watching like things I'm a part of. I'm like, oh, So I've only really the episode I've listened to like the most technically, like after it's been released, is episode 1, and I'm always like, episode 1, we're just around a speaker. But I've just it was so wild, just hearing the audio difference after listening to episode 1. I'm like, jeez.
Yeah, having them
Wow.
like back to back it's such a big difference.
It's like when it's just
insane.
it's been like such a I feel like we've, even though we like changed microphones and that was a big jump, but like it's been a year of like slow progress, and you never really know like how much you're improving day by day and like week by week. And then when you like finally take a look back to like a year ago or 2 years ago, it's just like, oh my god. Look at
it's like every episode Every episode, I feel like there was probably one small thing that was like tweaked a little bit. It was like, oh, well, maybe Michaela like figured out this one specific thing she can do with the audio that makes it sound like this, or like things like that. And like Christian with the music, and it's just amazing.
And like also with us playing, I feel like we've gotten way more comfortable like in front of mics and with our characters,
Definitely.
and like we've become really like creative, interesting like players. I don't know. I'm really proud of this. Every time we record something and put it out, I'm like, I really do want people to listen to this. I promise it's good. I promise it's really, really good.
But I'm actually very excited about tomorrow's episode because
Oh my God.
it's like really good, and I'm very excited about it. I'm gonna go back to editing it after we're done with the stream and try to finish it tonight.
And
maybe y'all can get a preview.
Yeah, and then there's one more surprise coming tomorrow.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, we
We're
still
just full
have
of surprises
more.
over here. Presents
my
and
God.
presents, gifts and gifts.
Truly the SOFPOD week.
Truly
Yeah,
the
like
SOFPOD
Christmas.
week.
We're like
During-
Santa Claus.
We're like Santa, the collective Santa Claus hive mind.
Honestly, tomorrow's episode I think is going to be a real nice surprise
It's
as
gonna be a nice
well.
treat for everyone, I think. Something I did during this stream because I had time and I thought about it. Auna and Deville have always just been like stat blocks because I don't need them to be like full character sheets. I went and I made them character sheets now, and they have like full abilities that are
God.
like surprising to me even, that I'm like, yeah, I guess they would have this. But we're gonna well, I'll take a look at them with y'all at some point down the line. We'll
And I
need to see what's going on.
And I oop.
But yeah, Deville and Auna finally have the real full character sheets
They're real. Wow.
and their finalized list of spells.
Holy shit. That's so exciting. We've come so far.
We've truly come so far.
I think I'm gonna put us back on the face screen in just a second.
Oh, okay. Gotta get prepared.
I know. I'm probably.
Should I turn
look
my
like a
video
different
on?
Person.
Yeah, give us 1 second to set that up, everybody. We'll be on the Be Right Back screen for like a second. All right. Welcome back. It's
Hello,
us.
Welcome.
Oh my god, you
We're
can
real
see us
people.
again. We're real.
God.
We're real people.
It's the Koro.
Boop boop.
Boop, boop, ba-doop.
Boop boop be doop.
Boop boop be doo.
Oh man. Isn't it just
Soft pod.
Soft pod. Mm.
Why do you have hearts in your eyes? Allergies.
Allergies. Isn't that crazy? You guys just listened to our voices for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and now you get to
I
see
mean, I
us.
feel like that's all I usually do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
sometimes I always forget people don't know what we look like. And one time I like posted a picture in the Discord and they're like, so that's what you look like. And I was like,
Like, well,
I'm a real person.
Only audio medium.
That's so wild. It's so funny when I think about the McElroy brothers. Side tangent. Whenever they're like, they're just like regular dudes. They just like look like regular
McElroys?
dudes. So I'm just the
us.
us. Yeah.
We're just a
Nice.
Podcast.
couple of 20 somethings
Mm-hmm.
that just sit in our house,
Isn't that crazy that
play D&D.
we started this with like a, hey, you wanna maybe play Dungeons and Dragons, and then what's
Hey,
that?
you ever heard that?
I did an Instagram poll. Who wants to play Dungeons and Dragons?
You got the best of the best over here.
You
back
looked
it
out.
up. You're done. You're done.
Honestly,
Us who had never played it in our whole lives. We're like,
gonna be completely honest, we really lucked out because it's like so rare that D&D groups can even like consistently play, just because of the nature of like people being busy
I know.
adults.
especially right now.
We
Now
also,
we make time for it.
Yeah.
Michaela puts us on a tight schedule.
But for like a year and a half, we had to keep the schedule ourselves through a pandemic and everything, and it was hard.
Yeah.
But like, look
We
at
did
that.
it. And we
I
made
I
it.
also think we're really lucky because I think that my friends are the most talented people in the world. So I just think that it's
What?
not only are they all great players and great at D&D, but like we do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
Like everything that comes out, we do ourselves. And so like it's crazy like
The work and the hours.
the work we put in the work and the hour. And it's just crazy, like the skills we've learned, the skills that we already had, that we improved, like the ways that people are willing to step up to the plate. These motherfuckers, we've all lost sleep, argued, cried,
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
cried.
It ain't all sunshine and rainbows behind the scenes.
Friendship
But it's
forged
like-
by fire.
I honestly, it's the behind the scenes is the best it's ever been, and a lot of that is because we've learned a lot, and a lot of that is also Dea and K2 stepping up,
Thank you.
taking over.
Literally.
They've been
We
getting
were
us
tearing ourselves
so
apart because it was
good
so
on Instagram
heavy.
and Twitter. It's
So-
crazy.
yeah.
like we're just all, yeah. But like we are in the best we've been, and we want to get better. And I feel like we are. And in every episode.
I honestly, genuinely think every single episode, I'm like, damn, this is getting better. This one's the best one. Like every single episode.
If anyone hasn't listened to like the end of the last episode we released, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But when I listen to the last like stuff like that, every time stuff like that happens, I'm like, this is so good.
I'm like,
How is
why?
this,
How have we not blown
how
up
is this
yet?
the best piece of media I've ever consumed? And we just all just did it. Like
It's not
everyone
even in
just-
like a self-braggy way. We just put in so much work.
Mhm. It's like honestly,
just proud
I'm
of it.
genuinely so impressed with every single one of you. Like it's just we just happen to have like the perfect like 4 people.
I can't
Yeah,
believe it.
honestly.
Like, we happen to have like a great DM,
Fantastic DM.
a fantastic DM, an incredible artist,
Aw,
like just
shucks.
phenomenal, like just insane, and
Like,
then like
shitting everywhere.
like a shitting all over the place, and then and then Christian's like, please. And And then we have Michaela, who was not really an audio engineer before this, and is now basically an audio engineer.
Michaela's just a genius, so
And
They were able to
a
just pick
musical
it up.
genius.
they were just
Dare
able
we
to pick it
say?
up.
And Michelle, you've really stepped up to the plate in terms of role playing and acting
Fuck
and bringing
yeah.
the character to life. I mean, honestly, Ladara as a character is just so good. Like we were ragging on American Ladara, but the growth that Ladara's
It's like-
experienced in the podcast is huge.
Listening to the first episode for me was like, wow, I have gotten so much better. Not even in a way of like, I'm perfect now, because I'm still like, I can do so much better. But like listening to the first episode, I was like, wow, I really didn't know what I was doing, but I thought I did. So
We all
like-
do. We were all so nervous in the first episode.
Oh my
We could
god.
hear it in
literally
our
so
voices.
nervous. You can hear us
Everyone
quaking
being out
in
of
our
breath.
boots.
I was like, when do I talk? I was like, when was it my turn to
Yeah.
talk?
Oh,
Man.
Well, good job,
Yeah.
everyone.
Great job.
We're gonna be on stream for probably like another like 10-15 minutes or so. So if anybody has any quick little questions that we can answer, then maybe we'll answer them.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Like I say,
Maybe.
no, not that one.
Not that one.
Bad question.
Yeah, we're probably gonna hop off at like 10:15 or so. 10. Probably not anything past 10:30 for us right now. It's time zones.
Time zones. It's time zones. Yeah, I got an episode to edit.
we got.
Explain your
Thinking
feelings
about
on
it.
Wolfgang. Michaela.
Oh my, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I love Wolfgang. I was somebody like I didn't do audio engineering before
Oh,
this.
yeah.
I did composing, and I knew how to press record on Pro Tools, and everything else I figured out along the way with the help of a lot of friends and YouTube videos, and Christian and I calling each other damn near crying over Avid's Pro Tools.
It was so bad. It was like my darkest moment as an editor of SOFPOD was trying to figure out what Pro Tool. I was so mad. I was like, this is the industry standard? So
Because
bad.
Christian and I, basically, it was a long thing, but we ended up like having this like call one night where we were trying to get it so that we both edited on the same software. And we wanted to switch to Pro Tools, and we thought Pro Tools had this like cloud thing, and they do. It doesn't work at all.
It just doesn't.
And
I looked it up, and there's like a post from 2014 where someone's like, this doesn't work.
and
then
I guess they
just
never fixed it. And it was like all the stages of grief we went through that night. By the end of the call, we were like, goodbye, we're canceling the podcast.
Editing.
But
And
my
here we
feelings on
are.
Wolfgang.
Yeah,
Listen.
anyways, your thoughts.
I love Wolfgang.
I love
I
Wolfgang
really
so
do.
much. Oh my god.
I would be shocked if you didn't.
I
True.
really think Wolfgang should come back.
Yeah. We should have
I agree.
a Patreon
My-
poll for NPC that we want to see come back the most, and then
The-
Christian
My
has to
husband-
do
We
it.
always have like we always have
Okay.
like 10,000 NPCs at once, though.
I will
That's
I will
true.
speak this into existence now. This isn't an announcement because we don't have anything recorded yet. But
Okay.
I'm writing my philosophy for writing one shots for going forward is I want them to be relevant to the story. And so I'm writing one shots where the main like people that are involved are the NPCs that you've met, and the cast will play their own character, like different characters that they want to play, that just like join up with them. And so there are things coming in the works in which I'm going to write, starting with possibly a Wild West one shot coming up.
Ooh,
Because
yeehaw.
the story of Denton O'Donegan is not solved. And it was something I brought up, and it never got solved. And so it will have to happen off screen because the Strings of Fate aren't going to go hunt down Denton O'Donegan.
Or will they?
So I'm in the process
Please,
of
God,
writing one shots. And when we do the one shots, we'll record all the sessions so that they're all ready to go.
Yeah, rip Halloween
Yeah.
one shot. Sorry, guys.
Halloween one shot. But
It'll get finished someday because it's
Maybe
modern
next
AM.
Halloween.
someday
It's a modern
Halloween.
Sorry, guys.
for the
Yeah.
second season.
Nick, are you watching the questions?
Yeah, I was looking at the questions.
What do we got?
Somebody asked. Sorry, I'm just making sure I didn't skip one. Let me just double check. Yeah. So. How did we feel when we first started getting fan art and recognition? Honestly, we started getting it like episode 1, like the day we premiered. I literally was like shitting and crying everywhere. I didn't know how to handle it, and I was like, "What do you mean?" I saved it all to my phone. I called my mom.
Put it on my resume.
I think the first time that it was either the first time someone either cosplayed Ladara or someone drew fan art of Ladara, and I literally think I was on the floor crying. Michaela, I think you were there.
Yeah, she actually did get on the floor and start crying. I was there.
Get on the
Thank you for
floor.
being my witness. This is a fact.
For me, it was really weird because I had started drawing Vincent art before we ever like started the podcast, and it was like I started getting recognition on Instagram for Critical Role art, for like fan art, and then I started posting about my little green tiefling, and I was like, I love this guy, and then people were like, oh, let me know more about him. And it was like, what? You want to know? Okay, I'll tell you. And then there was like I always say that like, if you don't shut up about the things that you love and you're sincere about them and you don't hurt anybody with them, people are going to start listening. And so I just never shut up about Vincent. And then all of a sudden, like, somebody wanted to draw him. And I was like, oh my God, no way. And then somebody wanted to make dice for him, Olivia, and I was like, oh my God, no way! And then for me, it's just like, I can't even fathom that not just people would be like, oh, what an interesting design, but like now people are like invested in the character and like his story and the like writing that I've put into him. I'm like, I'm not a writer. I'm not a character writer, or like I don't do that. So the fact that people like are interested in it, I can't even fathom it, honestly. So
Very nice.
Crazy. Every time there's a new piece of art or something, it blows me away. Honestly, every single time someone draws something, I'm like, everything is so amazing. You're all so talented.
It's true. I feel like
you're also talented.
Most talented people
I'm
in the
so
world.
grateful that like you guys are so kind and you do want to draw our characters and you love them just as much as we do and you know everything about them just like we do, and it's like it's so cute.
Man.
Yeah. First time I saw Geronimo fan art, I felt truly seen. He was truly a character that could have been like either cast this man into the fire or elevate him to heaven with the sit with gods. And for some reason, the community's like, I love Geronimo Johnson. I'm like, oh God, I have to voice Geronimo Johnson.
You've never done it again. every time, it's always a little different. It was like a headspace you slipped into.
I had to really channel something for the first time, and now it's getting.
I think there's like a blooper from that episode of Christian in the middle just being like, "Is this funny?"
I'm like, "Is this good?
Is this good?"
We recorded the first like full Geronimo episode, and we were like, "We're gonna have to listen back to this one." We're like, "We don't know about this one."
I was like, this is, I think I remember, I was like, I've never said it about our podcast, but I was like, I think this is like the type of art where it's like, it's divisive. It's like, you're either going to love it or you're going to absolutely hate it. And I'm like, I have to figure out where my audience lies. Oh, it was tough. It was so tough.
The next question is, how long does it take us to prep an episode to drop? And the short answer is it like the quickest we could probably drop an episode is like within like by Wednesday. I don't think we could ever do it any faster, but so that about that much time
from Sunday to Wednesday,
it's like 2 or 3 days is like
about
quickest.
The editing an episode for me can take, usually I budget like double the episode length, but it can take anywhere from like an hour and a half to the most I've ever spent is like 7 hours editing an episode. Actually episode 49.
Jesus, what a beast of an episode. I'm sorry we did that to you, Michaela.
It's okay. So there
really
are some
good.
episodes, it actually turned out pretty good,
good.
And it always does. So I always have faith, but especially at the beginning when I was learning, it took me a while. And then I hand it over to Christian usually if he's able to do the music that week. And then I don't know how long that takes him, honestly.
Or all of the
It
scary
takes-
end stuff.
I go into like I also go into a fugue state where I just kind of focus on it and then it's done. I think the average time now that I'm used to it is like 3 hours or so. It can get more than that if the vibes are just weird as the episode and I'm like, I don't know what music fits, please. But now I'm to the point where I'm just comfortable being like, I'm throwing in jazz. I'm doing whatever. I'm
then-
doing this.
Yes.
And then it goes to Michelle, and Michelle probably spends about like an hour or two putting the video together, editing a clip, making sure that the backdrop is done and everything, and uploading it to YouTube. But Michelle is like cursed with problems with her video
So
editing
cursed.
software.
It's always
So
it's always
actually-
my fault. It's always the art reel's
No,
fault.
honestly,
No,
no.
we figured out
Literally,
the
it's
solution.
not. Yeah, we have solutions and everything's fine now,
Editing
folks.
software.
But I swear, from like the beginning of doing it, Premiere Pro just literally never wants to work. Okay, I will say that I was certified in Premiere Pro when I was like 18 in high school, and I knew how to use it. But now I basically know how to use it, but I don't know all the details. Like I'm not proficient in it. I know the basics. So whenever something happens, I'm always like, I don't know. And so Google is really my best friend. And sometimes, like, if there's an issue, I will have to, like, I've had to export and re-export the episode, like, 10 times, because it'll, like, get to, like, almost the end, and then it'll just crash, and I'm like, okay, all right. That's
me
great.
yesterday when my Pro Tools kept crashing, I was literally like, Grace! I was screaming.
Get out of your mic!
And then we have the gall to put out 2 episodes a week.
Oh yeah.
We're
We
done
did it for
a
this
while.
moment. We did it for
did-
this week.
we
and
did
then-
it
Get
for
to
this.
50 on Friday.
We needed to get to 50 on our 1-year anniversary. That's
We were
Sorry,
so
going back to
determined,
one
and we
episode
did-
a week.
We've been grinding it out for the last month, trying to get 2 episodes out a week.
No,
And
literally.
they've all been good. They've all been really great episodes.
I'm tired, but they're all great.
Truly. Truly.
So basically, the answer is about 10 hours or so, probably on average, of editing and putting together and uploading before. So it's like, and then we play. So
Yeah,
in total, if you include playtime, about 12 hours or so per episode.
it's a lot.
And then we do that twice a week.
Every week, twice a week.
It's a week and then you don't sleep.
We're still not done. I gotta finish editing this.
We're
And
not.
it's
We're
just
literally
the
the episode
4
for
of
tomorrow
us.
is not done. Everyone.
It's
not happy.
10
It's
p.m. on a
It's
Thursday
okay, guys,
night.
because I'm off tomorrow.
It's like
Nice.
whenever.
You're not. I'm not gonna let it get late. I'm sending this, or I'm getting this so you can get it early, and you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Nope, I don't care. It's also like so because we operate like this and we all do it ourselves, there have been a lot of times where things will go awry, like very last minute, and it'll be us at midnight being like, Christian one time was like, I can't speak. Can anyone else record the break? And it was like 11:30 at night,
Oh.
and Michelle and I were like, we'll do it. And that's how you got.
That's where you have the.
That's why you have that. It was like a panic.
The Christmas special break. If any of you remember the Christmas special break where me and Michaela did it, that was like we did that till like 2 a.m.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
I had a vision. I really did.
yeah, we were like, she had one thought, she said it to me, and I was like, okay, I guess we can do it. So I guess we're gonna do it. What do we got? What do we got, Mick?
Sorry. Somebody asked about Wolfgang.
Wolfgang. I agree.
Wolfgang, brain rot.
Wolfgang.
Wolfgang, sorry.
Wolfgang, sorry. Wolfgang.
Sorry.
Someone asked about what color palettes we associate. Sorry, the colors we associate with our characters' personalities.
Oh.
The personalities. Interesting.
Vincent's are definitely like warm, like red, mustard yellow, like a warm green, olive, brown.
I would say a color palette from like dark grays leading up into like purples and then like eventually getting into like a lavender. I feel like that would be like the transition of like her from the beginning of like the podcast, I guess, and like to like now is like dark gray going to now. I feel like we're in like a lavender.
Yeah.
I would say Azrim's probably like it's probably like a little like I would say like red and fiery, and also like probably like gray or black, like something kind of cold.
Nice.
A lot of cool tones. A lot of cool tones in this podcast, which is why we originally like the color scheme was like blue and black. And then
I know, but
Vincent's
I
the
love
outlier. Vincent's the like orange one, the gold wearer. Everybody else is silver.
I like this next question. It was, if our characters found out about the podcast, how would they feel?
Oh, I saw this question. I was like, I can't wait to answer that question. I feel like it would be like that episode of Avatar. Like, everyone watching us play.
Is this play about us?
Amber Island players.
Yeah,
Please, Christian, write this down.
Christian, steal from Avatar.
Please.
I've been trying to figure out how to do an episode like that without it being, because you're like starting to get in the news around Afra, and people are starting to recognize you outside of Cydia as like heroes and stuff. And so I'm like, one day there will be a group of people. It's like the adventures of the strings of fate.
Or there's like cosplayers. There's like people like pretending.
I want to know how.
Oh my god, it's like the
Afra
One Piece episode.
them.
It's like One Piece.
It's the One Piece episode where they're pretending to be we're the strings of fate. I'm Azrim, and we're hiring.
Yeah, we should.
First things first, you gotta give me all your cash.
I want to know how Afra sees, how they see them, how they would interpret them in a stage play.
It depends on if it's like a country that likes you, or if it's a country that's like, oh,
that's true.
When did you do well then?
That's true.
That sort of thing.
I think Vincent, at this point, if he knew that like people were recording his adventures and like broadcasting to the world, I think he'd just be like, another one. Like some more of this. I think he'd just be exhausted by it.
Nice.
Electric yellow is pretty cool for Azrim. I like that.
That is.
I would say that actually that probably fits better than the red fiery. I'd say it's more of like an electric yellow.
Yeah, like the lightning.
Like it's always one piece. So I think that was all the questions. I don't think I missed one, but thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you for joining us on this journey.
I'm so excited for you all to, if you are able to, and you're caught up, if you want to listen in tomorrow to the episode. It's going to be a good one.
Very good.
So good. Yeah. And we've really come so far in the past year, really leading up to this moment. It's going to be great. I'm so excited.
And like I said, there's one more surprise tomorrow that we lost some sleep over. And
you gotta listen to find out.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you, SOFPOD. Thank you, my friends, and thank you, the people who listen.
Thank you for giving us your time. That is the most precious of all.
Truly.
Thank you, Michaela, for giving us a schedule so that we get our shit together.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I love schedules. Don't worry about it. I love making them. It's the highlight of my every 2 months when I send you guys a new schedule.
But yeah, I think we're gonna head out for the night, and hopefully you guys enjoy the episode tomorrow if you can make it. Join us in the Discord if you're not already there, because we do a live chat and we all talk when it airs, and it's really fun. And also, if you want, we don't advertise our show anywhere, so if you want to tell your friends about it and tell them that it's really good.
Tell your friends about the show. Tell them all.
And tell them they don't have to start at episode 1 if they don't want to.
Yeah. You don't have to start at episode 1.
But yeah, great job, my friends, on a whole year of making this
We did
show.
it. And we're still doing it.
We're gonna
We're still
continue to do
doing
it.
I'm gonna continue to do it right after this.
See
call
y'all.
hangs up.
See y'all here. Oh, what?
So Christian was like, we're going to continue to keep doing it right after this call.
So see you all here next year.
Yeah,
Right here.
Right here,
I
right-
won't see you guys for another year.
Yeah,
I'll never see any of you for the next.
The next
12
time I'm
months.
gonna see you guys is gonna be a year from now.
Perfect.
So see you then.
When
The
we react to
fast-
episode 2.
It'll be a year-long tradition until the day we die.
Episode 2 is a great episode.
Every year we'll
Episode
do
2 is a
one
good episode. We should watch
episode.
it.
Tara episode.
Really good.
I just think it's kind of cool.
Live slimy.
Live
my
Live
friends.
fast and
Live
on the
No.
slimy trail, friends.
And live slimy.
Words
Ride
to
your
live by.
slimy chariots through the night, everyone.
Words,
Ride your slimy
words to live
chariot
by,
into the
truly.
night.
Boil up your. Never
Boil
mind.
up your snails.
Your snails.
Well, we
All right,
said
we
it.
got it.
Anyways.
We're gonna end the
Hey,
stream.
we're
We're gonna end the
I'm
stream.
cutting us off.
Bye,
everyone.
everybody. Mwah, mwah,
Bye-bye.
mwah, 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 mwah,
Mwah, mwah,
mwah,
mwah.
mwah.